Good evening, all. We've got Matt here at the Warble, and joined with me is Age. How you doing, Age?
I'm doing great, Matty. How you going, mate?
Good, good. I'm pumped that Sam Swadling is not playing VFL now. Is
Great
that
news.
clickbait? Are they are
Mm,
they are they playing with our emotions? Are they? Who knows? Who knows? Because he's not playing VFL, but he could be possibly held over, so he's an emergency for the VFL. But this would be the perfect game to play him. One thing we know is that Ned Long is not playing. Thank God, Ned Long, love ya, but go back to the VFL and learn how to become an inside midfielder. You're not a forward. I probably don't need to tell you that, but Fly doesn't want to embarrass himself anymore in the upcoming King's birthday. So Neddy goes back to the VFL. Unfortunately, Parker goes back to the VFL. That's just wrong, I reckon. I reckon he's starting to show a bit, but the bloke can never get a game, 3 or 4 games. He's always in 1 week, never stays for more than a week or two, and then he's straight out. And that's just unfair. When you've got blokes like Josh Dacos and Houston and Sidebottom and Lipinski that can go games on end without really performing, but they just got to drop a young bloke. But Fly is getting better. He's slowly making improvements with selection, but still, he always manages to do at least one thing that pisses us off at selection. What do you reckon,
yeah,
Age?
yeah, I agree with Will Parker. Even I don't like I always say, I never want to be too critical with the younger guys because they're just learning their craft. But it seems like he's the Ed Allen now, where Ed Allen was getting an opportunity for a week and then dropped, and Will Parker seems like he's in that cycle at the minute where he just doesn't get that continuity. Um, the only thing working against Will Parker is the fact that our defensive six overall have been fantastic pretty much all year as a collective in terms of stopping opposition scoring and all that. So I think he's just a little bit unlucky in terms of that's really the only spot that Fly seems to be playing in. So seems to be a little bit unlucky in that aspect. And I reckon he might be out for the inclusion of like a Perryman or something. So he's just dreadfully unlucky, I feel. But I would love
Hmm.
to see him just get a block, a block of 3 or 4 weeks, like I've been saying since the start of the year. This should be a year where we're finding out what's in our list. We're finding out who's up to it, who's not, who's got a future, who needs to have that a bit of that exposure so they can go back to the twos and hone their craft and things like that. I think Will Parker's just getting a little bit stiffed at the minute, just purely because he's in that defensive mix and doesn't seem to doesn't seem to be able to just get that long run that we want to see of him. In terms of Sam Swadling, obviously we don't know the news yet. My assumption is if he is to debut, we're going to hear the news tomorrow.
Yep.
Um, Makes sense that they didn't sort of announce it the same day as M-Pod, just to give both those players clean air, perhaps, because if they sort of do it on the same day, it, takes a bit of the shine off each other. Maybe that's what they're going to do. They've just staggered it. But yeah, big hint with VFL selection tonight to show us what they're sort of doing. But yeah, I guess it's really going to come down to Perryman. If Perryman's fit, so we know there's definitely two outs, obviously, in Will Parker and Ned Long. If Perryman's not fit, um, yeah, that probably means there's Swadling that comes in. Really, I can't think of anything else really. Maybe Buller. Yeah, not sure, mate.
Mm. So Buller, is it confirmed that Buller's not playing VFL as well?
Yeah, so there's two players not named. So there's Sam Swadling and Jack Buller. my assumption is that
Okay.
they're probably still trying to decide if Perryman's fit enough, and then they'll make a call either way. I think my gut's telling me that if Perryman's not fit, Swadling probably plays. Yeah, I think that might be the not sure, mate. A couple of questions. We'll probably find out tomorrow, I think.
Okay, we've got Manny backstage now. Manny's had a few issues sound wise. Let's bring him up and see how his sound is tonight. Let's bring him on. Manny.
Matty, how are you, brother?
Oh, loud and clear.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Huh?
You're actually coming
You
in
like
hot.
that, huh? You like that, huh? Huh? Changes, mate. Changes, mate. Have to be changes, mate. See what else we make changes, mate? You got to make changes, buddy. Otherwise, you stay the same. I told you to listen. Did I tell you? You've exposed them, Matty. This channel's fucking exposed them. I told you they've got a media person in there and they listen to everything we say. See? Longy's out. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, mate. Yep.
Hey, Manny, if anything, step back a little. Yeah. Can you step back a little bit from the mic because it's coming in? You actually loud and clear, but pretty hot.
Well, loud or loud is it?
Yep.
Hold on. Yep. Wait a second. Let me turn the volume down. Wait a second.
Okay.
Settings, audio. What about now? What about now?
Go again? Yeah, that's better.
Now? Is that better?
That's better. Yes, it is.
Oh, we're on big time. Okay, Thank God Long's out of the fucking team. Swati should go out as well. Swati should get the fuck out of there. Lipinski should get the fuck out of there. Bring Swadling in, right? And get the fucking ball moving. You know what I mean? Get the job done.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. Yeah, mate. So you've your sound is sounding good. Did you update your headphones or?
Yeah, I bought some. Now what I've done is I bought some JBL headphones.
Yep.
So I'll plug them in. Then I'll go to the settings. I'll go headset with wire. Then I'll go to the volume. I'll just adjust the volume a bit. So it's clear now.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Oh well, better be clear for fucking. You better be clear for fucking Monday night because if we drop that game, you better be fucking clear. I'm telling you, I want the club to hear us. I'm gonna go right fucking on with it.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm just hoping this is the sort of the line in the sand game where we just go, enough is enough. We're gonna just go for it. We don't have to be doing like helter skelter all game. But that should be the default. Just go out there because they're going to be pumped up. It's going to be an emotional game. It's usually their grand final every year anyway, the King's birthday. So we need to go out there and match because they'll come out firing. Max Gorn's going to be just smashing DC in the ruck, and we're going to have to withstand some punches because they're going to be just killing us out of the middle. And our back line's going to be under siege, and we just need to take the punches, and hopefully we can withstand it and start to match what they're doing, and hopefully get some ascendancy.
I can't believe what Anthony said before. He said he made a video, and you know what he said? He said, "Oh, Fly should drop." He was naming he's gonna get dropped for Swadling, and he named every player apart from fucking Lipinski. He even named Angry Anderson. He went to drop Angry. This cuts off his head. How the fuck you drop Angry, mate? He's the one that's trying to win us games. Lipinski. I'm gonna look at his stats.
If Angry gets dropped, I'm gonna flip Anthony and saying, "How did you know that? Why of all the players to pick out, why did you pick out Anderson?"
Exactly.
Like, this is the type of player we need.
Exactly.
He gives everything that Long gives, but he's a goal kicker. And
exactly.
He's a goer. He's got pace. Yeah, he's not getting 25 possessions, but a 10 possession game and 2 goals, I'd take that from a forward, and he's doing it
Fucking
in the
oath.
midfield. So he didn't mention Sidey as well. Like,
Nah.
why aren't we mentioning Sidey? Why aren't we mentioning Bo? Why aren't we mentioning Josh Dacos? If Josh Dacos's surname wasn't Dacos, he'd be in the firing line. Like, there's so many players.
fucking oath.
Like, Daz came on the other day, and he came through a list. There's like 10 blokes who just are not pulling their weight. There's 10 plus on the other side, but guys like Houston, Moore, obviously, Sidey, Lipper, Membry, DC, Josh, Bo. There's
Quainor.
Yeah, Quainor.
Fuck me.
So there's so many people who are in the line. Like, bring up someone like Anderson, someone like Quainor who has been dropped. We know he's dropped because he's playing in the VFL. It's just so unfair. I'd prefer Parker than Houston at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Houston's got a fucking lift.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
There's gonna be like, it's one of those. I just know if Malthouse was in charge of our club right now, I can promise you Swadling, he would have played like 3 weeks ago, but given circumstances, Swadling would be playing on Monday. So this is going to be a big test for this coach to show if he's fair income about what we're doing long term, or he's just in bloody week to week mode, because you have to play this kid and you blood him on the big stage and you fucking show him this is Collingwood, mate. This is fucking Collingwood. And that's it. You put him in the pressure cooker and you let him sizzle, mate. And you know what? He does 2 or 3 good things. That's all we want to fucking see, mate. I don't care if he only gets 10, 12 touches for the game. You just fucking back the kid in, mate.
Hey, did you see Fly announcing fucking? Did you see Fly get fucking Pod into the office and announce that he was playing his fucking first game?
Yeah.
Cringe,
It was the most boring fucking thing I had ever seen. He should have grabbed him and said, mate, go out there and take your fucking chance. Kick the fucking door down. Change your fucking life. You've been waiting fucking 27 years for this fucking game. Fire him fucking up. So when he goes out there, he goes right on with it. Tell him, you want to change your fucking life? Go out there and take what's fucking yours. Go out there and fucking take it. He's sitting there fucking putting him to sleep.
Yeah. No, I did notice that. I
Fuck
thought
me.
the same thing. I said, fuck, if that was me, right, if I was the coach, I'd be all over it. I'd be,
Oh, yeah.
like, doesn't have to be fucking anything stupid, but like you said, just something along the lines of, mate, we fucking back you in. Everyone at this club knows you got it fucking in you, mate. You know, you're going to play in front of 90,000 plus. You know, you're going to put those fucking black and white stripes on, mate. There's so many fucking people that, you know, dream their whole life to do this. We fucking back you, mate. We want to see what you got. Go out there and kill them. You know,
Fucking
nice little fucking, you know, you're going to play. And,
Oh,
you know, it's just
fucking
fucking cringe, mate.
David
so
Brent.
cringe.
He's David Brent of the football world.
Fuck me dead, man.
No social skills, mate. The guy's just fucking, I don't know. I don't get it. I'd be pumping up my boys like no tomorrow, mate. You've got the advantage of being a big club like Collingwood with big crowds. You fucking got to lean into it. You're not Melbourne on a Sunday afternoon, you know, 4:45 MCG. You know, you're talking bloody Collingwood 90,000 plus fucking marquee games, mate. You're debuting fucking, you know, get around him. Fuck. I just don't get it.
Fucking fire him up. Fire him up, mate. Tell him you just got married, mate. You just got married. You understand? You can come and change your life. We gave you the opportunity. We opened the door. You kick the fucking door down. You understand? Huh? You want to fucking take it? Huh? You go out there and take it. We need some luck now. All we need is one of our players, right, to fucking have a breakout, right? Get lucky in the draft. We pick up fucking Pod. He starts doing damage. Swadling comes in. Another player does a bit of damage, and then it's not too bad. We can start doing a bit of damage. You know what I mean? So we just got to get lucky. Hopefully, Pod can come in and start fucking putting 3-4 goals on him. Right, Swadling comes in and starts a bit of ball use from the back half. Open them up on the angle and fucking start getting the ball rolling, mate. We need some excitement, boys. There's been too much bad luck, mate, this year. We need it to turn around now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need a circuit breaker, I feel. We just need that 1 or 2 big performances by a debutant or, you know, a younger guy just to fucking transition now, you know, from the old to the new sort of thing, you know, like an Ed Allen, for example. If he comes out and gets 25 plus, kicks a goal or 2, we can finally say, all right, fuck, there's the future.
Exactly.
You know? Like, there's the fucking future. This guy can never be dropped again. Hopefully he fucking stays. But we just need some of those performances where the greater Collingwood community and the media just say, yeah, this is the transition now. No more side bottom. We need this kid to step up for us, you know? Like, not relying on these old cunts that aren't getting it done to start transitioning to the younger kids and having the focus from the fans on these younger guys. And like I said, I think this is the first fucking week. It's only been a few times where the whole Collingwood community agree on something, and Ned Long going back to the twos is a great thing. And as Benny always says, I know he's in chat, but Benny always says the VFL should not be viewed as a punishment. The VFL should be viewed as, you know, all right, you got some things to work on, mate. Here's your opportunity to go down there and show us that you belong at AFL level. Simple as that, you know.
Exactly.
You might only be there for 2 or 3 weeks, but you just got to get it done. You got to get the job done in the twos, and then there will be a spot here for you back in the ones. No dramas. Once you show us what we want, you're straight back in, mate, you know. But none of this fucking gifting games anymore. It's just, we've got to be past that point now. We have to. And if they had any minerals, Sidebottom should be the one that misses this week for a Swadling. I feel as though, like I said, if we had Malthouse at the helm, I reckon that decision would be made, because we saw it in 210. He had no fear in 210, and we end up winning a flag from it, you know. I know the circumstances are a bit different. We're probably not going to get to that point. However, the mantra should be the same. You just got to move on from the older guys. If he's not doing what you want him to do, you just got to make the decision for him. Simple. And that's it.
I reckon,
you give Swadling a debut.
I reckon the only reason why they're keeping Sidey in for is just in case we make finals and he wants experience while we're playing finals. But apart from that, there's no other reason to keep him in the side. I reckon if we're out of contention now, they would announce his retirement. Farewell game, retire Sidey, give him a farewell game, and that's it. Bye-bye.
Think it'll happen. I can't see him being given a contract for next year. So it could be one of those things. It could be later in the year, depending on how the season sort of plays out. But yeah, like, you just got to see him off with the utmost respect, and that's all it comes down to, you know. You don't shame him, but however you go about it, you do it the right way as a champion deserves, and that's it. But yeah, I mean, if he's in on Monday and it's another poor performance, you know, writing's on the wall.
Well, we're no Skunks in. We're no Skunks playing. Skunks playing for sure. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Because I saw that video where Skipworth said, yeah, so he's in. So that means that guaranteed McStay is helping out in the ruck with Cameron.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Buller, we can't rely on Buller in the ruck at the minute. He's just not either not good enough or not physical enough, or just needs more training in the role. But really, McStay's the only one that can chop out in there. So, I mean, in that aspect, you look, as much as I can't stand Membry being in there, he's just going to be in there. So you need to bloody accept that now. But yeah, he needs to stand up, mate, because yeah, if McStay's chopping out, he's the key forward, mate. Like, that's the reality. That's our reality. So he needs to be kicking 2 or 3 goals every week. That should be the absolute minimum. So, you know, they put the trust in him, senior footballer. Let's see.
Oh, as long as we break even in the centre ball ups, As long as we break even, we shall be all right. We'll get him on the counter attack. As long as they don't get fucking plus 10 or something on us, then we're fucked. But if we can keep it even and then just spread them, we should be all right. Get the job done on them.
Think so. Can't be as bad as last week in the middle. Like it just can't happen again. I'm pretty confident they'll have to address whatever they need to do in there. They have to do something. Like I think I said on mixed stream, you can't go at 80-20 in the middle. Like it's just not AFL standard. Especially when you got quality of guys like Nick in there and Pendle's running through there. You cannot be going at 80-20. Like it's just not good enough. Yeah, we're going to lose in there, but it has to be closer to a 50-50. And
Exactly.
yeah, like I know they got the dominant ruck in Gorn, but it's still not an excuse. Like you just can't. We just got to get dirty in there.
Benny, we don't know about Swadling. The only thinking is, which Age mentioned earlier, is that Swadling may debut and they didn't want to have the social media attention with Pods getting told he's playing his first game. So they might be waiting till after training to tell Swadling that he's playing. So if he is playing, he probably has been told already, and maybe the group has already. So they may have done a bit of social media. But I'd say it's probably 50-50 that Swadling's player. He's probably it might be a bit of a tease. That'd be fucking annoying if it is, because everyone is so anticipating because he's not in VFL. He's going to play, but he could be the carryover, or Buller could be the carryover. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't see why if he's missing.
Normally,
VFL,
Mallow. Oh, sorry, H. Just what I reckon we would have known by now, given the family time to travel down. Maybe his family was given the message a couple of days ago in secret, Mallow, so they can keep these sort of things under wraps. Yeah, 50-50 at best that he's playing. But if it happens tomorrow, it's still 2 days away, so that does give enough time for people to get on flights and stuff.
Yeah.
Was he from Adelaide, isn't he? Was he?
Club's probably
Was he
paying
from?
for it.
Was
He's
he
a Perth boy.
Oh, yeah, they'll be down in 4 hours, man. No worries. The club will sort it out in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's a public holiday as well. Like I know you want to give them as much time as possible, but like the club has to come first. It's one of those things. You can't always. Of course, you want to try and accommodate the family, but yeah, if we're going to find out if he's going to debut, you'll know tomorrow. It's not going to be any later than that. It'll be tomorrow. We'll know for sure or not, and that's all it comes down to. But yeah, I see no reason why he wouldn't be playing VFL, and he's been in a modified program at the VFL as well. He sort of hasn't been playing in the guts. He's sort of been playing here, there, and everywhere. So they might have been just saving him a little bit to debut him in this game. So he could have known from 2 weeks out that this game has been earmarked for him. I still reckon it comes down to Perryman, though. I think that might be the kicker there. It could be the Perryman fitness, which is dependent, because we know if Perryman's fit, he comes straight back in. Simple as that. So unless you're going to make another change, like a sidey out or something, I would lean more towards him debuting. That's just my gut feel.
I would have taken Soddy the fuck out of there. I would have taken Soddy out of there. I would have pushed Josh Dacos on the wing, back on the right wing, Josh Dacos, and I would have put Swadling in the back half.
Maybe they were going to play him off halfback or something,
Exactly.
Just because he's got no hope of getting any midfield minutes, really. So, yeah, it could be a halfback role or something a little bit more, more stress-free, I guess you could say. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards him playing. Even if Perryman does get named, I still reckon, there's half a chance that he'll play. And I'm hoping it's at Sidebottom's expense. Even if Sidey's going to come back in, he probably just needs a rest. Like, you got to do something with him. I'm sorry, you can't just keep going week to week with what we've seen. So
he must be, he must be due for him to be managed. These older players, why aren't they getting managed anymore?
Trying to
Just makes
squeeze
no
the fucking
sense.
lemon.
Pendles is the only one getting
because-
managed. So
Because
I was
of the
thinking,
bye next week.
the bye's coming up.
Yeah.
We had a plausible deniability for Pendles getting milked through to the West Coast game because in the last few years,
Exactly.
they would have rested him on a five-day break. They would have rested him going to Sydney, but he's the only one getting managed. Apart from Ned Long got managed 5 weeks ago when he should have got dropped. Apart from that, I can't remember many people getting managed.
Yeah, the only other one. It's hard because with the bye coming up, like Manny said, you sort of think, well, why would you manage a guy a week out before a bye? But yeah, sort of hard to know. I just can't see why they would carry him over and not play in VFL. That's what makes me think he's going to debut. So yeah, could be wrong, but yeah, who knows?
Was he emergency last week, H? He was.
Semi-Swadling. Yeah,
he was.
I think
see?
he played was it last week or the week before? He was
No, last week I think he was emergency. So what the coach is saying, he's right on the cusp now. He's on the cusp of debuting. So he keeps playing emergency, then boom, straight in.
Yep. Let's have a look. Because we played the Footscray Bulldogs. And we played them on West Saturday.
Yeah. West, I think it was Swadling, and I think it was Bulla.
Okay, so Swadling did play the VFL last week. That was on the Saturday, though. And the Collingwood game was obviously... so he did play last week.
But was he on the senior emergency list? I think he was.
They must have made a daytime decision because obviously
they
VFL
must have
played the Saturday 12 o'clock, and then obviously the boys played at night. So he might have been the emergency, but then they must have changed it last minute because he did play in the twos. So I'm not 100% sure. Benny will probably know if he's in chat. But yeah, I can't seem to find what the emergencies were for last week.
Oh well, this one is close now. He's close. So if it's not this week, it might be against Port Adelaide.
Yeah. They did the same thing with Anderson as well, if you recall. He was emergency for like 3 weeks in a row, and then he got a gig. So yeah, that's always how you know they're close. If they're emergency for multiple weeks, you can pretty much guarantee. But look, the debut's coming. It's just we just want to see the trigger get pulled this week. I think most Pies fans are in that boat. You just want to see it sooner rather than later, especially in a game that means something. Not just a game against a bit of a cellar dweller, a game that's actually season on the line, That's where I want to see the young guys in the pressure cooker, mate. Not the, a bit of a game where it's a little bit easier just to get them through. I reckon you can forge a guy big time if you just put him in big clash. And I know Malthouse would have done it, so I'm just hoping.
Yeah, just let the heat out of the game go away. First 10 minutes, let the heat go away. Then after 10 minutes, inject him straight in. Get him fresh.
Yeah.
Inject him straight in. Wait till the heat dies down and let him start doing fucking damage. 45 angle kicks. No down the line bullshit. Take your kicks straight down the middle, 45 degrees. Open the ground up. Simple. And put side bottom. If they don't drop side bottom, put him in the forward pocket. He's crafty. Don't make him run up and down the ground all day. Put him in the forward pocket and let him fucking kick a few goals.
Yeah. We saw it in the Adelaide prelim. It worked to perfection, mate. worked to absolute perfection. You had Mason Cox bringing the ball down, and you had side bottom front and square every single time, you know, and it was a thing of beauty. Because as I think Matty mentioned it, you know, you're talking about one of the most crafty guys when it comes to like at the drop of the ball. He's one of the craftiest guys going around. So it just seems odd that with no Bobby and Will Hayes being injured and stuff like that, you wouldn't utilise side bottom in that role.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Howe was managed for the Cats game. All right, so that was the one. Yeah, that was one other managed one. Yeah, that's right. Because Howie sort of just came back from injury as well, so he had a couple of weeks, and then he was managed. Yeah, yeah. So it was West Buller Swads. I'm pretty sure Mello says for the emergency.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because West didn't end up playing twos. Is that correct? Pretty sure West didn't play twos, so he was the number one emergency then in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Let's have a look. Just trying to find it. Yeah, you honestly, I cannot find the emergencies anywhere. It's like they delete them from the previous week. Oh well, whatever.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm about 95% sure he was emergency. Swadling,
Yeah.
West, and Buller. They were emergencies, and they must have not had injuries, or they're confident they could go into the game without injuries. They had enough midfielders to cover or half back, so they let him play.
Yeah.
Or they let him play to get ready for this weekend. See, they might have given him a run, so they got him primed to playing for this weekend. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. No. Hopefully it's good. Did anyone watch the bloody Hawthorn game tonight? Happy to see him get done, mate.
Not really, bro.
Really?
Well, because Bulldog took points off us. See, Bulldogs, they've skipped ahead of us by fucking, what is it, 8 points now. So I wanted Bulldogs to lose. That way, they're around our mark because they've skipped ahead now. The Bulldogs from us.
Yeah, that game was critical last week. It was an 8-point game for us in the end.
Exactly. See,
this
is critical as well.
It's annoying.
This one's critical as well because Melbourne's fighting for posse as well. So these are critical games for us. We've got to take points off them, get points for us, and fucking launch.
Yeah. When you're at the stage we are, mid-table, every bloody game's an 8-point game. You know, if you're losing to those teams that are around you, it fucking kills you, mate. You know, it just kills you. If we flipped half of those games that we lost closely, I mean, Freo's the exception because they still bloody would have been top of the ladder. But the Hawthorn game definitely, and the bloody Bulldogs game, if we managed to flip those two, it would have made massive impact for where we sit, you know. I'm actually happy the Bulldogs didn't look. I don't want to see Hawthorn win. I know, it probably would have been better for us if they won, but I'm glad that the Bulldogs took it up and beat Hawthorn tonight because it franks our form from last week a little bit. Because I know a little bit of it was, you know, the Bulldogs, we should be beating them, which we should have in the end, but they definitely franked their form by winning tonight, I think. So, yeah, even though I've been pretty critical for how we've performed, we're still thereabouts, I think. I think we're slightly better than what I thought we were. So I reckon, I reckon it's, just fucking critical on Monday. We've got no option. It's just a must-win game.
That's A for football, bro. See, A for football, it's that tight. and every team's that close, on certain days, if you make a couple mistakes or don't finish your opportunities, right, you drop the game. See how close it is? Bulldogs win one week, they drop the next. Hawthorn wins a week, they drop the next. Like the Crows last night, they beat Geelong. Geelong's dropped 2 in a row now. See? They lost to Carlton. See? So you make, so that's what I'm saying. Every AFL team's close. It's about managing it properly, playing your players in the right position, and getting the fucking job done. And full-blown fucking pressure. I want to see them all applying pressure. And like I said to you, you can't have 3 players playing fucking good games. If any of our players are sticking out, there's a problem. So if you see Nick's on a stick out all the time, but if you see Pendles and you see like another player sticking out, that means we've got a problem. You want to see all our players performing, all of them at the same time. It's like a machine, machine. Everything's working perfectly. Everyone's in sync. That's what you want to see. If you see too many passengers, forget about it. We're going to get done.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. I as much as it is great to see individual performances, it's no good for the fucking team. You'd much prefer the even spread, knowing that every bloke's doing a bit of damage. You know, once you get those 1 or 2 or 3 players that are just doing nothing, Nick could get fucking 50, but it means absolutely nothing because he's just making up for 3 or 4 fucking no-shows on the day, you know?
Exactly.
And that's why I compared it the other night to like Carlton for those 4 or 5 years when they were deplorable. Cripps was getting 40 and kicking 2 every week. And they were praising him and they were like, he's fantastic, which he is. But all it goes to show you is if they're still losing by fucking 10 goals every week, it means nothing. Cripps could get 80 and kick 10. But if they're still losing by fucking 40, 50 points, it means absolutely nothing because it just means he's carrying the load for all these other dickheads that aren't doing anything. So that's why I'm hoping we're not fucking getting there because you got this generational fucking talent. He just needs someone to fucking come on the ride with him. And other than fucking Pendlebury, you know, even 1 or 2 of them, just fucking somebody just to come along and just say, all right, Nick, I'm here with you, you know? I look at like Buckley when we were shit. He had Scotty Burns and Paul Licuria there, you know, who were still decent, great footballers. Right now, other than Pendlebury with him, who's, you know, who should be slowing down and should be more, you know, just sort of played to his strengths rather than have to, you know, carry this team fucking still. I've got this sick feeling in my gut that we're just going to waste these generational years of Nick, you know? If we don't get it right, we're going to fucking waste a lot of years.
Oh, well, hey, Lipinski's played 200 fucking games. That's 10 years. That's 10 years in the system. He's a 200 gamer. He's a senior footballer. He should be performing. I want to see him get votes tomorrow. I want to see players get coaches' votes that don't normally get them. That's when you know we're doing damage. He's a fucking senior player. He's got 200 fucking games under his belt, and everyone keeps treating him like a fucking first yearer. He's been in the system for 10 years. He needs to start hitting targets, right? Performing. I'll even give him a run through the midfield. I'll run him through the midfield as well. Get him off that fucking wing and make him earn his fucking posies. Throw him in the fucking middle and say, right, you're going in there now and you're going to go hunting. Get him in there. Make him earn his fucking posies.
Yeah. They protect Lipinski. That's the thing. Even though I reckon the last month he's been okay, it really means nothing because, like we say, if you give an average guy enough opportunities, eventually he's going to pull out a performance or two, and you know, that's just how it is. But even then, it's still not best on ground performances. It's still not, you know, top 3 or 4 players on the ground performances. Like he's nowhere near that, and he should be able to give us just like you said, just a little bit more. It doesn't even have to be like sky high. Just a little bit more for your 150 or odd games that you've played. You should just be giving us more. And yeah, he's just a favourite. We know that. But yeah, I just want to see him. I would like nothing more than he's best on fucking Monday. I know it's not going to happen, but I would fucking love it. I would love it if he's best
fucking
on
oath,
ground.
bro.
at least I can fucking turn around and say, okay, he's got something. But when you've played, 40, 50, 60 games for us or whatever it's been, and, you've probably got 2 or 3 games that you sort of like, oh, okay, he's fucking taught a new one today. It's just not enough for a guy of that caliber, He should be damaging more. That's all it comes down to. I look at a guy like Seedsman, for example. Seedsman's obviously sort of dropped off, and then he went to Adelaide and had a pretty good career. But he's pretty similar player to Lipinski was, and Seedsman had a few best on grounds for his time with us, And I sort of think, well, there's a similar sort of guy who now and then he'd just have a fucking killer of a game and just slaughter it. Whereas Lipinski doesn't seem to do that. I reckon the first game he played for us, I reckon it was against St Kilda under the roof, and I reckon he had 30 and kicked like 3 or something. I thought, oh, fuck, we've found one here. This is going to be great. Since then, he's never had a fucking performance anywhere near that. So whether that means
Hawthorn last year when he got knocked out. When he got knocked out by the ruckman, he had a good game as well.
Ah, yes, you're right.
Remember, he got knocked out by the ruckman when he took a mark in the inside the 50. Yeah, that was a good game as well. So he hits a couple of targets in that, but they all have to fucking lift, bro, at the same time. It's like going to war, and your fucking warrior at the front's doing damage. You got fucking 3, 4 next to him, just giving it to cunts, right? But then the rest of them, they go missing. What's going to happen is the front line's going to collapse, bro, because there's not enough fucking power in there. There's not enough people just going right on with it. That's why it's got to be an even performance for us to get over them, because they like running, bro. They're gonna take the game on. They're gonna open up that ground, and plus they got smacked last week from GWS. They're gonna come out and they're gonna want to run us. So we've got to be ready. Get real tight on defense. Put the pressure on, right, and fucking get them on the counter attack.
Absolutely. I know they're going to come out and they're going to play with no fear. There's nothing surer in my life that I know they're going to come out and play with fucking no fear on Monday. And we're going to be the ones that either have to match it, or we're going to bloody come out and say, nah, we're more senior than you blokes. We're not going to let you blokes dictate how we play this game. But I just got this fear that I know they're just going to fucking take it up to us. So we're going to be on straight away. And you're right,
exactly.
In terms of fucking half the team need to lift, of course. But it always seems to be the same fucking guys that just don't give us enough. And we're sort of stuck in this middle sort of, we're stuck in this purgatory in the middle of the table where we could have won games if it was just get that extra 1 or 2% more. And it's just frustrating because a lot of the guys that are really capable of it and they're just not doing it. And yeah. Daz spoke about it the other night, when you look at the guys who've been pretty like under par this year as compared to previous seasons, and it's a big list. And when you actually break it down, the only 2 guys that have probably gone to another level this year is really like Billy Frampton, who we're all a big rap for, but he's gone to another level, and probably Perryman. Like other than that, really, we've had no real guys that have sort of matched or gone to another level. Obviously, Nick's Nick, that's a completely different kettle of fish. But yeah, just a lot of guys just not giving us enough week to week. It's just, even if it's that extra 5% from everyone, we'd be in a much better. You'd flip most of those results, and we'd be in a much better position. But yeah, it's just that 5% drop off just kills you, mate. It's the difference between winning by a goal or 2 or losing by a goal or 2 at the end of the day.
Also, the coaches have to know. I'll be watching for it on Monday. I'm watching for it. The coaches have to know that Melbourne is playing an offensive game style. So the new coaches come in and he's playing offense first. Then he's going to work on the defense later. So he's letting them play football. So that means because their defensive structure is not bulletproof yet, when we turn that ball over, the coaches have to tell them to move the footy quickly so we can bust them open, because they're weak defensively. So if we turn that fucking footy over, we have to go straight back at them so they haven't got time to set up. because they haven't been practicing that. Like we got a strong defense. They're focused more on offense. So if we can get them on the turnover, right, and bust through them, then we're laughing.
Yeah. I just want to see when we get a turnover, I want to see us more how we used to be, where the turnover kick would always be up the guts, you know? Even if it was a speculative kick, the turnover kick would always be looking into the middle of the ground and you'd have runners running. Now it seems like, you know, a turnover, we sort of just play defensive straight away. We go back to that, you know, kick it to the wing, kick it. It just seems like, fuck, you've got the opportunity to break them open and they're streaming forward and they're out of position. Just take the fucking game on, you know?
Exactly.
You got guys like Bo who are completely capable of it, and he's just been in all sorts this year. And you saw like just fucking, I don't know if it's a coach, I don't know if it's a game plan, but it's just like just play the guy to his strengths, mate. If let him cheat a little bit, let him. It just I would much rather try and score off turnover, being a little bit more aggressive, and then okay, if you cop one, you cop one, whatever. But at least your intent's there, and you're keeping the opposition on their toes. But when you're pretty much going straight to defensive mode, you got teams like West Coast. They're like, oh, hang on, these blokes ain't gonna fucking score anymore. And then that's when they start building up a bit of confidence and they start taking it on a little bit more, you know. And if we're just not fucking willing to just punish them, because they're a young team, there's going to be opportunities where we can break them, but it's just whether or not they're willing to fucking just a little bit of run and carry, you know, just trying to take on that first tackler and try and open up the play a little bit more. All these little things that we saw in 23 and in parts, you know, last year a little bit, they've just gone completely fucking out of our game. And it's just frustrating because really it's the only way we can score on turnover. Like we ain't scoring from stoppages. We're scoring from around the ground stoppages here and there, but in terms of like through the middle, forget about it. So if you're going to play counter attack, you got to fucking be a little bit more ballsy. You got to risk turning it over again just to score. But that's what you have to do, mate. Like, no point doing it when you're chasing the game. May as well do it as a staple of the game, you know?
Also, I don't want to see fucking. Also, I don't want to see fucking bullshit going on. That Fritsch hasn't kicked a goal for 3 weeks, right? If I see Fritsch kick 4-5 goals on the snap on his left foot, I'm gonna flip. Also, Checkers. I don't want to see Checkers kicking 4-5 goals on us. They better fucking be tight on them. They better stick tight on them, and not let these fucking players get off the fucking leash. It happens all the time to us, bro. Like last week against the Bulldogs, this bloke Williams, haven't heard of him before. He's played 12 fucking games, right? And he's kicking 3-4 goals on us instantly. It happens every fucking week. I want them to be on their fucking players. When they see them turn us over in their fucking half back line. So if we're going forward and they turn the ball over on us, mate, the defenders have to react quickly. As soon as they see the ball get turned over up the ground, they got to lock onto the fucking defenders straight away. If they're loose, they're going to fucking smack us, mate.
Yeah. The guy I worry about is always Fritsch. He always seems to fucking get space against us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
I don't
bro.
know what it is, but he always seems to. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're playing the fucking system defense, bro. That's why sometimes you see fucking tools on smalls, right? And you see fucking what's his name, Houston on the monster, right? And the monster's taking mugs over his fucking head because they get mixed up. So what they've got to do is they've got to locate a player before the ball starts coming down. See?
Yeah.
Like what? Like seriously, what do you think fucking? What do you think the side is going to do in defence, right? Unless he's a wing and he's rolling back to support the defence, right? What's he going to fucking do? They're taking marks over his head, bro. He's got no fucking hope.
Yep. Oh, it's funny you mentioned like playing a bit tighter because I went to the Carlton Geelong game live last week, right? And like I obviously didn't see it on TV, but at the game, you could see like they were just taking more risks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It's because obviously Jacob Wiedering's a star of the comp. He's a star defender. But I saw whenever they took a risky kick, so whenever they sort of looked inboard or took a risky kick, I noticed straight away he located his man, like straight away, instantly. So he wasn't like Lairising or anything. The second he saw that, okay, the risky kick's coming, he was already on his man, like shoulder to shoulder with him. And I thought that's how you fucking do it. Because, okay, Wiedering's not the run and carry bloke. He's obviously not going to be running through the middle getting a handball. His role is you have 2 or 3 of you guys just say, okay, risky kick's coming, bang. Where's my man? All right, I got him. So if there's a quick turnover, someone's not in fucking acres of space, you've got a little bit of cover. Yeah, you still might get broken open, but at least you're fucking giving your defenders a chance, you know? And I thought, that's probably what we don't do enough. We zone off too much, I've noticed. Like, yeah, the defense has played well all year overall. We keep teams to pretty low scores. But on turnover, we can find ourselves fucking get broken open, like, a lot, you know? Just got to be a bit tighter. If you're going to play a little bit more attacking, just defenders just don't zone as much. Just play a little bit more shoulder to shoulder. And, you know, you allow your Houstons and that to run and carry. Let them maybe push up a little bit. Okay, and then if you get a 2-on-1, unlucky. But, you know, I just think, yeah, there's certain things you just don't want to get beaten by. And I just don't want to get beaten by turning the ball over and then having fucking 4 Melbourne players at the top of the goal square all on their own. Like, it just, nothing shits me more than that. I forget what game it was. What game was it? It happened a few times in the West Coast game, but it was earlier in the year as well. There was 3 or 4 occasions where there's like 4 West Coast players on their own inside 50. And I was just like, how the fuck do you allow that to happen? Like, okay, you might have a 3-on-4 or something, and they've got the one outnumbered. But there was 4 or 5 occasions where they literally had 4 free fucking players in the forward line from a turnover. And I just think it's just fucking catastrophic. Like, at least have 2 or 3 down there. Like, I don't know. The zone defense works, but sometimes it just fucking exposes you big time.
Yeah, he should adjust that defense, right? He should adjust it so when they're coming in, right, we should keep their players towards the boundary line. So if they get marks inside the 50, at least all their shots are hard. They're from fucking hard angles, right on the junction there. But last week they were waltzing goals in. We don't want them waltzing goals in from 50 meters out or on top of the goal square. So they got to stay more central. So that way there, if they turn us over and they kick the ball quickly and they expose us through the middle, get them taking shots from the fucking boundary line. So they're harder shots. So when they miss and score a point, then we can start again. But if they're getting the ball in the middle, right in the 15 meters out, like last week, we're fucked, bro. We're fucked.
Yeah. You just don't want to get beaten by certain things. That's all it comes down to. Like, I just don't want to get beaten the same way. I don't want to. If it's a hard fought contest and they're fucking better than you, all right, whatever. As long as you were playing the game the right way. I just hate getting beaten by what you know. The Sydney game was what shit me. Like, the pre-game, I remember on Mixed Stream, I said, we can't let this fucking lizard cunt just be streaming through the middle of the fucking ground. And, like, you just cannot let him cut us to ribbons. In the end, he gets a career best fucking 40 touches, like 6 better than his previous best, and he fucking tore us a new one. It's just like, don't get fucking beaten by what you know. That's all it comes down to. And you know what they're going to do. You know they're just going to be fucking high pressure, bloody, you know, just fucking match it and then just fucking counterattack, you know? If you turn the ball over with high pressure, fucking make them pay. Don't go all defensive. It just shits me, mate.
Also, you know, if we bomb the ball down the line, you know he's going to be waiting for it, don't you? Every single fucking time. Guess he's going to be waiting for the ball. Fucking
we'll be kicking it to him, mate.
Yeah, that's why they can't do that, because he knows As soon as we've got the kick out, he goes straight to the wing, mate, and he waits for that long ball to come in. He intercepts it, and they start rock and rolling off there. So that's critical. There can't be no long bombs down the line. Even if we bomb the ball in our 50, he gets back and helps out, and he takes intercept marks. So the boys have to be switched on, mate.
That's it. If you see him long down the line, if you got the ball at half back, and you see Max Gawn at the half forward flank, right, waiting for that 55-meter bomb to his head, just fucking cut the angles, switch it up a bit, switch the ground, be patient if you have to, but just do not kick it to him. Simple as that. It should be an instruction, you know? And that's the thing that shits me, because when you're playing defensive, you're probably just still going to take that option because you're going to say, okay, if we spoil it, we'll get a restart at the half forward flank, you know? But if the bloke's on and he takes 5, 6, 7 fucking contested marks, we're cooked, mate. Like, it's just, you just do not want to get beaten by what you know. Nothing shits me more than when you get beaten by what you know. And I can guarantee
Also, stick it. Yeah, stick it. Mr. Stick It Man, pick it, right? If he sees him getting off the leash through the midfield in the first 10 minutes, he needs to jump and he needs to act immediately. He needs to cool him right down, because if you let him get too excited, he puts 4 or 5 goals on you in 2 seconds. So he's got to move quicker. He can't wait like last week until we put a call on the Bont at fucking 3/4 time. It's too late, bro. See, he's got to cool him down early. So if he sees Pickett getting out of control, he's got to put someone on him instantly to fucking quell him down straight away.
Those are the sort of guys that can win them the game. See, that's
Exactly.
the thing. So don't give them what they want. Like, it's pretty simple to me. I know sometimes you don't want to play defensive, you don't want to tag, but when you're talking like the highest class of players in the competition, sometimes you got no fucking choice. You just have to do it, you know? And like you said, the guy's capable of kicking fucking 3 goals in 10 minutes. We've seen him do it.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
that can lose you the game. Just something simple like that. If Melbourne are 1 or 2 goals up, right, and they get a bit of momentum, and then you got fucking Cozzy just tearing at a new one, that can lose you the game right there. So yeah, I know we're adverse to tagging and stuff a lot of the time, but we're not top of the ladder anymore, and we're not dominating games of football. So sometimes you just got to be, not to disrupt too much of the game plan, but you just got to say you're just going to have to play tighter on him. Simple as that. And if he moves up the ground, you know,
we've won 8 out of the last 9 against them. So I'll guarantee you, Stephen King, he's in that fucking pre-game show, and I'm telling you, he doesn't want to drop this game, mate. He's going to fire him right up. He's going to tell him, you haven't been able to beat these blokes for a long time. They've embarrassed you. Do you understand? He's going to fire him right up. So Fly better do something. He better stop with all this fucking ring-a-ring-a rosy shit in the change rooms that he does, and fire him right up. Get him going out there and being switched on from the first ball up. Switch him right on. Hype him right up. Get him fired up. So when they come out there, they're alert. They're ready for pressure, right? And we start fucking winning midfield battles. He's got to start firing them up, mate. He's too passive, this bloke, bro. I know he is, bro.
Yeah, I hear a lot of the times, like behind the scenes, you know, he's a little bit more like aggressive and a little bit more of a cunt, but I find it hard to believe. I think he's just very process driven guy. Like, this is the plan, this is the opponents, this is what we're gonna do, you know, like, no, but sometimes you just, especially if you've got a few younger guys in, sometimes you need to go the you know, pump up approach, because it's about confidence. The older guys don't really need it, but the younger guys do sometimes need a bit of a pump up, you know, and that's why I know M Pod's a bit older, but like, I just want to see a little bit more excitement. That's all. I just want to see a little bit more of you know, what it means to play for Collingwood, what it means. I see some of the other ones when they do debuts and that, and look, we do it too with jumper presentations and stuff like that. You get an old guy back and they sort of talk about what it means to them and whatnot, but there's nothing stopping the coach from doing that. You know, I think the coach can have a role in pumping a young bloke up and you know just being a little bit more, I don't know, emotional. Even if I'm hoping he does behind the scenes because I've heard he does, but I can't see it. I just think he's too matey with them sometimes, and sometimes you just need to be a little bit more of a cunt.
Exactly. No, or just even just fire him up, bro. Not being a cunt, but just fucking tell him, right now you go out there and you fucking give it to him. These cunts want to embarrass ya. They want to embarrass ya on a special occasion. Fire him up a little bit. Get him out there breathing fire, mate. So they go out there and they're fucking ready. How many times this year, bro, have we gone out and the team's put 4 or 5 goals on us instantly, and then it's catch-up time? Every single fucking week, it's catch-up time. We've got to go out there and put 4 quick goals on a team and break them early and then keep the foot down and fucking buckle them straight away. This year, teams have been coming out on us and putting fucking 2-3 goals on us instantly, bro. Last week, 15 seconds, they put a goal on us straight away.
Yeah, the Sydney game's really been the only game this year where we've come out all guns blazing, really. All the other games we've started a little bit like, yeah, nothing really. St Kilda game maybe, but yeah, really, there hasn't been too many games this year where we've come out on from the first bounce. So yeah, like you said, it's hard when the first bounce of the game, the opposition literally get hands on the fucking ball first second of the game, and we don't touch them, and they get a clean centre clearance, and they kick it long to a forward. The forward takes a mark. You're right. It's hard to fucking. So it's like a momentum boost straight from the start, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I think
they feel cocksuckers, bro. They feel cocksuckers. You know why? Because I was thinking about it the other day. What they did was they got rid of the they're making the ruckman jump now. They're making him jump. All right, fair enough. But I was thinking to myself, also what they did was they got rid of the bounce of the ball, because if they were still bouncing the ball on some occasions, what would happen is, because the ball doesn't bounce straight up, it'll be bouncing towards Cameron sometimes. See, and he'll be able to tap it. But because they got rid of the fucking bounce of the ball as well, what happens is the ball goes straight up. That's why he can't get his hands on it. But if they were still bouncing the ball and the ball bounced towards him a little bit, he'd be able to get to it. See, they fucked him right up.
Yep. It's just really disappointing. Like, I understand why they did it and whatnot, but geez, it couldn't have affected a club more than us, you know? I still think, though, that he's got to find a way. I said it the other week. He's got to find a way. You're a pro. You got to figure something out. Whether that mean you lean up a little bit, whether that mean you just, I just don't understand. He's clearly got the ability to jump. Doesn't have to be bloody, you know, Nick Naitanui height, but there's got to be something you can do to get him that extra centimetre or two. Like, it just blows my mind.
Maybe you should maybe get him to lose 5-6 kilos, lose a bit of weight, so it makes him lighter and he can get up a bit more. See, if he loses 5-6 kilos, 7 kilos, he might be able to get that fucking extra 6 inches of leap. But he's heavy, plus he's got no spring in his legs, and fucking that's the problem.
Yeah, I think, like, obviously Oscar Steen was earmarked to, you know, sort of take over the CBAs, and we started seeing it a little bit, and it was changing a bit of our fortunes, but bloody hell, like, it just couldn't have. We had the jumping ruckman, we debuted the jumping ruckman, he was doing okay, and now without him, my God, it's just left a massive hole, and yeah, I just don't know what's going to change. That's
so what should happen is, Age, I got an idea. That's what I would do. What I would do is, I'll start McStay in the ruck first. I'll start McStay so that he can wear out fucking Gorn a bit, so they don't put 4 or 5 quick goals on us. I'll start McStay first, wear out Gorn a little bit, get him tired a little bit so he can't get that extra leap. Right? Break even in the centre clearances. Then when Van Rooyen comes in, then get Cameron to go in and get over fucking Van Rooyen. So fucking put McStay in there first and tire out fucking Gorn. And worse comes to fucking worse. Tell McStay to run right fucking through him. Tell McStay, listen, go back a bit from the line, go to the edge of the circle there, where the fucking centre ball up is, go to the circle, and then run straight through fucking Gorn. Run through him, bounce off him, and try to get your hands on the ball. Put it right on him. Not injure him, but fucking make him earn it. So he knows next time he goes up, right, he's got to have a knee going straight through him. You got to make these fucking players earn it, bro. You can't just let them jump and do whatever the fuck they want. You got to give them a bit of pain, bro. Make them fucking earn it.
Yeah. That's the thing I love most about Oscar Steen. If you look back at all his ruck work, every fucking contest, his knee goes into the guts of the opposition fucking ruckman. So even if it's that 1 or 2% every time, the other ruckman knows before he even fucking goes up, I'm gonna cop a knee to the fucking guts here. It's just that mentality change. When you've got DC there who can't really do it, by no fault of his own, he probably just can't get up there, but he doesn't ruck to hurt, you know. I just look at some of the ruckmen in the game. When they ruck, you're going to feel it, you know. That's the thing. You as the opposition player, you're going to feel the fucking other guy rucking because he's going to knee you,
mate.
He's going to fucking shove you, he's going to bloody do something to you that's going to make you second guess the next time around. Whereas DC just doesn't have the capability to do that, doesn't have the leap to do it. But yeah, you just got to find something. And like you said, if that even means when McStay's in there, you just go a little bit more aggressive. And yeah, you might give away the odd free kick or two, but you're probably going to lose the fucking clearance anyway.
Exactly.
So is it the worst result? Is it the worst result if you get a knee or two into his fucking kidney or something? But you know, you're just wearing him down a little bit. You know, you're just taking that 2% off him every time. So, like you said, then as the game progresses, he might be starting to get a bit sore, and then you can sort of Cameron can go in there and maybe, you know, even it up a little bit more. You know, you just got to. Sometimes I know a lot of people might think, you know, that's just complete fucking bullshit, but there is things to that. That's why you see players sometimes at stoppages. They'll always just constantly be bumping and shoving.
Yeah, fucking nice, bro.
It's part of the game. It's part of wearing the opposition down, you know?
Yeah.
You're taking that 1 or 2% off them every time.
You're better of attrition, bro. That's what it's called. That's why in the last quarter, it comes down to attrition. Who's got the biggest testicles to fucking run over the fucking top of him? Who's got the biggest balls to get the job done? All of them. Make them all fucking earn it. Don't give them fucking free time. Don't give them space. If they're left footers, get on their left side and cut their fucking left foot off. You need smart players out there, bro. Those little things all add up, bro. They're all little 1%ers. Through a whole game, they all add up, bro. All add up to fucking massive fucking things.
Absolutely. That's the thing a lot of people don't realise. Like, look, Essendon are an exception, but, you know, the reality is when you're looking, Carlton's a good example, actually. Carlton, if you're comparing Carlton to Freo, right? Now, Carlton played a decent game when they played against Freo over there in a game that they should not have ever been in, really. But the difference between some of those bottom teams and the top teams, it's not that big. Like, you might think it's a huge void, but it's not. It's sometimes just that extra 2 or 3% on any day that if you're just doing the little things well, that extra 1%, like I said, even with our list, you get that extra 2 or 3% of improvement or output on them. That's the difference between winning and losing games at the end of the day. So you've got to be smart about those 1 or 2%ers. You just have to fucking be switched on from the first bounce, you know. And I think that's the thing. Fly initially, when he came in 22, he was really good at that because I remember it was like the holding the game up stuff, the man on the mark stuff, all these little things that they're all the 1%ers that can win you a game of footy. Now, obviously, the AFL have outlawed a lot of those things, but you got to find the next 1%er. You got to find the next little thing that you can do to get an edge over your opponents, you know? You just can't go out there and just let go through the motions. You know, you got to find something. You got to find that extra 1 or 2%. And like you said, if that means being rougher with Gorn in the middle, if that means bloody being a little bit more physical, if that means starting a bloody punch on here and there just to rev the boys up,
Fucking eyes.
you just got to do something. You got to see. This is the thing when Essendon and Hawthorn, the line in the sand game, right? And I know gets looked back in history as a bit of like a dark bloody patch or whatever. You don't know to go to that extreme, but there's a point in time where you have to say enough is enough. Where the Collingwood Football Club, we're not going to fucking lay down anymore. We're not fucking easy beats. We're going to go, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down bloody swinging. I would much rather see us be a little bit more physical. Play like Maynard. If everyone fucking took a leaf out of his book, we'd be all proud. I could lose,
Exactly.
but I'd be bloody proud. I don't want to see us losing passively, playing defensively and all this crap. Nothing infuriates me more than losing by 2 or 3 goals in a game that you know that if you were just that 1 or 2% better, you would have got the result. But we just seem to be lacking a little bit of that edge at the minute. And I look at guys like Maynard who just every fucking week 100% effort, and I think, are all the guys giving 100% effort? I don't know. I don't know. Are they a little bit happy with themselves since the premiership? Are they a little bit too comfortable in their positions? Like, it's just time for a shake-up. That's all it comes down to. And time's running out, mate. You know, a lot of these older guys, time's running out.
Oh, exactly. Chris,
Chrissy.
what are you doing, buddy?
Hey, Age. Hey, Matty. How you going?
Good, mate. You?
Oh, that was stressful. It took me ages to set up this microphone at my sister's house. I'm so frustrated.
What's happening, mate? You back home?
No, I'm at my sister's.
Did you watch the game
Yes.
tonight?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you
There's a
think?
bit of a noise coming through, Chris. A bit of a noise coming through.
I don't know how to
Can you hear
do it.
Age?
A little bit static, is it?
No, like a shh noise.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it slightly.
Yeah.
You going?
Maddie's back. Where you been, Maddie?
Taking care of business. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing? I'm going to just take you off stage and try again. Yeah. He's at his sister's place or something and can't quite get his normal audio settings sorted out. So we get you sorted out, Manny, and now Chris is having some issues.
Yeah, I know, bro.
We need to get,
It's
we need
it's
to
like-
get
it's like
everyone
a
on the
season, bro.
park. We need to get everyone
a
on the
season,
park
bro.
at the same time.
Like our season, bro, up and down. I'm starting to get. I'm starting to get
That's
sick
it.
of. I'm starting to get sick of this fucking. It's starting to fucking get on my nerves. These blokes. I'm telling you, Monday, Matty, Monday afternoon. If they haven't gone out there and done the job, there's going to be a lot of fucking carry on going on. They better go out there Monday, all right, and get that fucking job done. I'm sick and tired of all this fucking pussy shit every fucking week. It's getting fucking ridiculous, bro. They need to go out there and fucking rock and roll this week and start fucking launching. We've had enough of this fucking fairy flossing, man. It's getting fucking, it's actually becoming embarrassing, bro. They better go out there and fucking rock and roll this week. I'm telling you. I just can't wait till Monday, bro, at fucking 2:30 when that ball gets thrown up. I just can't wait to see what these Muppets are going to do. I'm just waiting for it, bro.
Now, what do you think about? There's this theory that Voidoid and Josh have been raising in the chat. Now, I've heard this before, and it's that Fly's all like all cuddly and friendly and in public, but apparently he's like just this absolute bulldog behind the scenes, that he gets them up against the wall and he's like at them and like, come on, what the fuck are you doing? I reckon that's an absolute myth. I just can't imagine him. I reckon he's like that all the time. But that,
bro, feels to,
I don't
bro,
know.
feels to
I don't
that.
know.
Listen,
I
haven't
been in the rooms with him, but I can't
Hey,
imagine he's
he's
like that in the rooms.
Nah, He's not doing that. You know why he's not doing that? You know how I know? It's because he doesn't drop players, right? If he was that ruthless and he was doing that behind the scenes, he'll just drop players and tell them to get back to the VFL and start doing damage, right? He's a family club, lovey-dovey shit. He might bake them all together or G them up a little bit while they're all sitting on the benches there in the fucking room with his whiteboard there. He might write a couple things on the whiteboard, right? Pressure, intensity, take your chances. We're not the finished product yet. It's halfway through the season. We're gonna come to the club on Monday. You wouldn't know if we won or lost. Yeah. You come to my club on fucking Monday after a loss and you're fucking smiling. You see what's gonna fucking happen. Don't worry, bro. He's very flosser. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I reckon this is what that's what I said here. You can't be hard behind the scenes when you have favourable treatment to certain players and then lying and telling stories in the press conference. Because if you know, Ned Long is playing in the forward line and he just goes tees off on Ned Long after the game or at half time, people are like, okay, that's fair enough. Why is he still playing? All right. And if he's given a young bloke a serve, like imagine he gives Angry Anderson a serve, right? And then Angry's dropped the next week, but he doesn't give Steel Sidebottom a serve. So if he is yelling at players, but he is picking and choosing who he yells at like he does in selection, that's going to just make it worse for him. You can only be really hard on players and bring them to a certain standard and put people in the firing line if you are treating everyone equally and you are also taking account for your own positions, like really sort of like we are all in this together. I've fucked up, you're fucked up, we all fucked up today, and picking on certain people, but it's like it's warranted. So that the team says yes. If someone picks on a player, that player is going, you know what, he's right. I've been shit for the last 2 weeks and I was shit in that last half. But if he's picking and choosing who he picks on and who he yells at and is not yelling at others, that will make it worse for him. So I don't see, with his lack of credibility at selection and how he's got favourites and how he treats some people differently than the others, it's only going to make it worse if he starts yelling in the change rooms and getting up players.
Hey, bro, didn't you see him? Didn't you see him on the bench last week? Didn't you see him on the bench last week, bro? I'll guarantee you he's not losing at players. Because last week, when the Bulldogs was giving it to us at the start, it was the second quarter, I think. If you looked at the bench, he was sitting on the bench and he was sitting there with his hands in his lap, like Michael Voss was at Carlton. You're telling me if he's Grizzly, when the players are coming off and they're not performing, that he's got them on the bench there, bro. I'll be walking up, I'll be doing it in public, but what I'll do is I'll get up and I'll walk up to his ear and I'll be saying, listen, do not tell you to move that fucking footy. Are you playing? You want to play games? You'll be in the VFL next fucking week. Get out there after your break and get up to a couple players and the leaders and tell them it's time to move the fucking footy. You understand? Say, don't worry. He's got plenty of chances to put it on him because he's on the bench, bro. But he sits there and he looks lost, right? So don't worry. He should be getting up and baking them. There's no point sitting on the bench if you're not saying nothing. You're just sitting there and doing fuck all.
Yeah, I think that last week was the first time in a long time that he looked really defeated and deflated.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure what happened last week. Who knows? But usually he's standing up a lot. He's sort of giving the boys a bit of a rev up. Last week he seemed very defeated. So, look, it sort of come out in the wash that maybe they're not doing what he wants to do or whatever. Who knows what the fuck to believe? But I do know that he did look a little bit less animated last week. I just want to bring up something that Josh said. He goes, did you watch the documentary on Channel 7 this year? It showed Fly giving a spray against the Suns to Long and even Nick. That's true. He did. But we were
on TV.
We were 10 goals to 0 down. I think
exactly.
even the most passive coach has to, in that scenario, fucking rev the boys up. I'm talking more just general week to week. I don't think he would be that aggressive at all. I think at times he would be, of course, but I'm just saying as a general rule, I think he's more on the passive end than he is the rev up end. And when you're sitting mid table, sometimes you just got to be a little bit more ruthless. You know, you got to have a little bit more cunning in you. I don't think he's got it.
Age. It's also
That's the game.
It's not private. That's a public. That's a public spray. You know,
Exactly.
that's like. Do you remember Kevin Sheedy doing that spray at GWS?
Yeah,
Remember that when he first started? Yeah, well, that's for the cameras. Fly knows there's a documentary team, and he wants to look tough. That's not private.
Don't let them dominate you. Don't let a team dominate. Yeah, shit like that, bro.
Don't ever let yourself be dominated.
Good shit, mate. That's killer shit, mate. That's what I want to hear, bro. Bro, put it this way: if I was playing football for Collingwood, and I was playing like a pussy, I'd want nothing more than the coach to walk in at half time and put it on me, bro, so I can lose my fucking shit and go out there and go right fucking on with it. I'd want that to happen. So for some reason, these players are scared to get a fucking bake. I'm telling you, Nick can handle a bake. I'll guarantee you Nick Dacos and Josh Dacos can handle a bake. You know why? Because their old man's baked them plenty of times. I'll guarantee you, Peter Dacos has fucking baked them that many times. It's not funny. So they can handle a bake. There's some players that can't handle bakes.
Yeah. It's very dependent on the group you have as well. That's the other thing. So sometimes some groups respond better to it, this and that. Obviously, there's going to be times where you need to be more of the father figure, more so than the bloody angry coach. But I just reckon it tips too far in the passive section. I'm not going to doubt if he does or doesn't do it. I'm sure there's times where he's done it. I'm sure there's times where it's warranted. I just think if you look at it overall, he's too passive. And selection is the hint. That's the thing. We've got the data that we have where we could take a measurement off is selection integrity. And anyone in this chat and anyone in the wider Collingwood community can see that that's been an issue. So if he's not making changes there, it's passive, you know. So it's the whole thing. It's not just the spray. It's also what he's doing in terms of dropping players and stuff like that. Like
that's what I mean. It's a whole package. When you are losing credibility because you are you see, it's all about team. A champion team will beat a team of champions. Well, a team that get treated differently depending on your relationship with the coach. When I'm saying treating differently, I mean selection-wise and where you're played on the field. That it doesn't matter whether you yell at them or fucking talk to them like an angel. They're just like, who the fuck is this guy? You're just gonna like imagine trying to give Will Parker a spray. Oh well, it doesn't matter what you fucking say, Fly. You're dropping me next week because that's what you do with me. You don't give me a long run in the seniors.
Yeah, good point, bro. Good point.
Will Hayes says, hey, Will, geez, so sorry about your shoulder injury, and you know you're gonna have to a bit of time on the sidelines. Well, I kicked 2 goals. You still put me on the sidelines as a small forward. You know
exactly like angry. Same as angry. Oh, he kicked fucking 2 goals, right?
Charlie
probably
West.
fucking
He says
probably 8
Charlie
tackles.
West,
Yeah,
exactly. It says that Charlie West needs a rest. Charlie West is a very talented forward. He's only 20. But he gives Ned Long 4 weeks in a row. Never played forward in his life. But he drops Charlie West after 2 weeks, says he needs a rest. He's 20. Yeah, so he just straight out lies in press conferences about young players. So what is it? So what would be the point in yelling at any of these players? Because they just go, well, who the fuck are you, Fly? Like you're just not consistent with your message. Other people get favoritism. Some people don't. Sometimes it's older players, but Ned Long, he's like only 23, but he gets favorable treatment over Angry Anderson. Ed Allen gets dropped in the same week. Ned Long gets managed. Ned Long doesn't have to play VFL, so that the week after, Ned Long is an automatic selection. What's the point in giving these guys a spray?
Yeah.
When you lack credibility in the group. He lacks credibility in the group. These guys aren't idiots. These young players, they're smart kids. They're like, who the fuck is this guy?
We have
Go on,
data.
yell if you want. Give us a spray. Still don't respect you. In fact, they'll probably respect him less if he gives them a spray. Like when Darcy Moore revs up the team before the game, and he's fuck this and fuck that and pointing his finger at everyone. Everyone's going, oh, right, Darcy. Okay, mate. No worries.
You've got your leader who he's trying to rev you up, but then on the Monday morning, he's bloody planting trees or doing some fucking bullshit. Jesus. Like, or he's on fucking Triple J or something talking about woke bullshit. Yeah. I'm really going to fucking respect that guy. You know, it all plays into it. I know it ties back into the 1%ers. It all ties back into the same thing. Trust me. I've ran my own business for fucking 16, 17 years. I know what makes people and I know it's not being a fucking tradie and playing a sport are two completely different things. But I've used this example before. When you've got apprentices, when you've got younger guys, sometimes they need a fucking bake. Sometimes they need a cuddle. But if all you're fucking doing is cuddling them, they start taking the fucking piss. That's the reality. Now, with senior guys, it's the same thing. You're the coach of the fucking football club, the biggest club in the land. There's some certain things that are just non-negotiables. And if they're not doing it, you have to fucking spray them. Simple as that. And I don't know if he would all the time. That's all I'm saying. Obviously, we don't know. But I think it's pretty obvious to this point. We've got enough data that sometimes you just have to fucking be ruthless. Sometimes you just have to make the decision. Sometimes you just have to make the unpopular thing. So many opportunities, he just doesn't do it. That's all it comes down to. He just doesn't do it enough. Yes, the long thing is great, but it's 2 weeks too late. Yes, Sidebottom could potentially be dropped this week. He won't, but it would be the right decision to drop Sidebottom this week. Will he do it? He won't. So these are the things. There's just so many opportunities where he can show us that he's doing what he needs to do, but he just doesn't do it.
Like Alan in the middle. We've been saying that for 2 months. And then when it happens, he's like, oh, like it was his idea or like it was just such a master stroke.
Crazy.
Hey, Matty, he set up.
Yeah.
He set up. I reckon he set up. Or I got a feeling that he set up Long to drop him. Because why the fuck would you play him forward for 4 weeks, and instead of giving him another chance in the midfield, you just dropped him? What makes you think that Long was going to be a damaging fucking forward? Are you kidding me? So I reckon he set him up to fail. He probably said, you know what I'll do? I'll put him in the forward line for 3 weeks so it doesn't touch the footy, and that gives me an easy decision to drop him. So that's what he did. Normally, what you do is you pull the player out of the fucking position that he's not supposed to be playing, and you give him you talk to him, and you say, Longy, right, it wasn't the right decision. It's my fault. I made a mistake. I'm going to give you one more chance. Go in the middle and start doing damage like you were when you first started playing. Get your hands on the footy, lay fucking tackles, and get the ball moving forward. He just dropped him straight away from the forward line. Now you got Longy. Longy's gone to the VFL in the morning, thinking to himself, what the fuck, mate, you're making me play forward. Now you're dropping me. Obviously, I can't play fucking forward. You know what I mean? Shit like that goes on.
It's certainly not setting him up to succeed.
Exactly.
But what he should have said, because this is interesting. So now Long goes back into the VFL. Where does Long play tomorrow? That's
what I'm trying to say, bro. Where do you play now? Well, is he going to play
mid? He hasn't played in the midfield for a month, and he's been shit in the forward line. It could totally just destroy the guy's confidence for the next 6 months.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Makes no fucking sense, this bloke, what he does.
Yeah. He carried him the extra 2 weeks because he didn't want to drop him. And
didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah. When it became apparent that he had no choice, that's when he dropped him. When the decision should have been made 2 weeks ago, okay, Longy can only play forward. Fuck, he's had a stinker. Fuck, what do we do, lads? Let's put him back in the twos and fucking let him tear it up there for a few weeks. They decided, it didn't work for a forward for 2 weeks. Let's give him another go. and let's give him
Exactly.
another go. That's where the decision is. I am in full support if for a week or two you want to trial something different. But after that, you need to pull the pin. Instead, he dragged it on the extra 2 fucking weeks that wasn't required. And like Manny said, what do you do now with him in the twos? He's going to go straight back into the middle, inside middle role.
Exactly.
So why? Okay, you know that's his position. So that it just makes no sense to me. It just so many things just frustrate me in terms of how you go about it. Just fucking if the player is not suitable in the position that he needs to play, you just fucking see you later. Sorry, Longy, there's 4 in front of you. Go back to the twos, get 30 touches, kill it. You're straight back in this team. I promise you. Simple. That's all you have to fucking say. Instead, now you've given him 4 games in a forward line. Everyone knows he's fucking useless there. And it's 4 weeks where you haven't been able to develop him or you haven't been able to have him hone his skills in the midfield or whatever's required. You've just carried him because you didn't want to drop him. Simple as that.
Hey, Lucas. Yeah, those 4 weeks that Ned Long spent
Fuck me.
as a forward, we lost 2 very close games. And if you had a forward actually playing in that position, I don't care who the forward is. It could have been Pods last week, could have been Buller, could have been West. You put Sax? I'd prefer Saxena down there. Saxena can kick it. He knows where the goals are.
Yeah, also we lost him out of midfield, bro. We lost Long. Hey, we lost Long out of the middle as well. You're telling me now, if Long was in the field, they send the ball ups, he could have put body on Bont or fucking Richards, or put a bit of body on, or tagged them, or got his hands on the footy and extracted the football. But you know what happened? He took him out of the mid. He fucked us up there. We got weak in the mid, and then he made us weak in the forward line. So he made us weak on both positions at the same fucking time.
Yeah. If you're not going to play middle, you don't play him. It's fucking simple.
That's it.
Like, you've got Ed Allen now where the penny's finally fucking dropped that I can only play this cunt if I'm going to give him fucking decent middle time. Perfect. Great. Love to see it. Hope he fucking kicks goals. Hope he fucking takes it to the next level. And I hope that he stays. Great. But a year too late, probably, if we've got to be honest. It's a year too late. I pretty much had given up on him. And it's amazing that I look back now with the blessings of hindsight and you say, yeah, you know what? That's right. The coach never set him up to succeed. The coach drip fed him into the team, which sometimes works, but fuck me. You've wasted 20 games of him on a wing when his preferred position was to just straight away be in the middle. Now, same thing with Long. You've got the evidence now. So that's it. He is never to play another game of AFL football if it's not in the middle. Simple as that. Simple. So fucking simple, mate. Like,
Exactly.
it's just, you got to be just ruthless. You got to look at your team sheet and say, this guy plays here, this guy plays here, this guy can play 2 positions. Okay, that's great. But when you got guys like Ned Long, just be smarter. Simple. He can only play middle. If he's not playing middle, he's in the twos. Doesn't matter if his name's fucking Ned Long or Nick Dacos. It doesn't matter. You pick the team to best fucking represent their best strengths. Simple as that. It's not fucking hard. It's not rocket science. Forget the names. Side bottom, it's the same situation now. You're just floating him anywhere because you know he can do a half decent job wherever you play him. But the one place that he can probably still have decent impact is the forward line. It's the one place he hasn't played. So send him to the twos then. If you're not going to play him there, he's not impacting anywhere else, send him to the twos. Doesn't matter that his name's still side bottom. Fucking hell. Heaps of players in their last year or two get sent back to the twos. It's not some foreign thing that's like taboo. Happens all the time. Sidey, 350 game warrior. You've lost a yard. You're not impacting as much as you used to. we're going to have to be a bit more selective with when we play you. No worries, Fly. Fucking no dramas. I love this club. I want to do what's best for this fucking club. That's how easy it fucking is. I'm sorry. You might think, oh no, Sidey's proud. He wants to play ones. No. This guy would have come into this year knowing that, okay, if I drop that 5%, I could be in the twos. I promise you. It's
exactly.
It's so obvious. So obvious.
Or put him in the posse. Put him in the posse where it's not risky for us. So if you put him in the forward line, if he doesn't win the ball, it's not too bad because they've got to come all the way down the field to score on us. But if he's in the midfield and they're running straight past him because he's too fucking slow now, that's when we get exposed. Put him in a position where it's not going to hurt us. He can hurt them, but they can't hurt us. To put him in defence, he can't chase those fucking small defenders around. They're too fucking fleet-footed for him. You got to put him in a position where it's not going to hurt us. Put him in the fucking forward line. Simple.
Yeah. It's if you're not going to play him, and look, this is the thing. Again, I stress, I want Sidebottom to come out and prove me wrong. I want him to get 25, kick a goal, and like I said, with Ned Long, I want him to single me out in the crowd and fucking give me the double birds. I would fucking love it. I'm not saying these things to be proven right. I want to be proven wrong, but I'm just looking at what we're seeing. That's all it comes down to. I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying this is what we've seen. The evidence is there. He's dropped off. He might be finished. We've got the evidence. So
he's finished, bro. You know how he's finished? Yeah. He's finished, bro. You know how he's finished? Because a player of his stature, right? He should be playing every second game should be a good game like Pendle's, right? His experience and his smarts around the football, every second game should be a nice, decent game. But he's dropped right off, bro. He has one good game in every fucking 10 now. So that's telling me that he's fucking done.
Yeah. I would find it. I know there's a lot of people that would just want him to play regardless because of his name, but that just holds us back, mate. Yeah, exactly. It holds us back. You're just, like I always say, it's not local footy. It's not, a guy that's played 400 games in the VAFA and he's the heart and soul of the club. You're talking the elite competition, and that 1 or 2% that you drop off is enough for you to be in the seniors to the twos, and then that's it, mate. You might never, ever come back in unless you get a game made for you that's a farewell game, which he would get. He would 100% get that opportunity if it came to that, But you just got to be smart. You just got to say, look, if you're looking at just say, for example, you're looking at a situation where the last spot comes down to Steele Sidebottom this week or Sam Swadling, who in their right mind is going to want Sidebottom to play in front of Swadling? Who?
Well, you can't, bro. You got to bring a hungry player in. You got to bring a hungrier player in. The problem with Sidey is he's playing against players that are quicker, younger, and hungrier than him. The only time that Sidebottom is above them is only a special occasion, and that's in fucking prelims and in grand final day, because the only thing he's got over them at the moment is experience, and he can handle the pressure, right? So that's the problem now. He's playing against hungry young kids. They've got to earn their spot. They've got a point to prove, and Sidey's already been there, done that. So unless it's a prelim or a grand final, that's when he comes to the fore. But until then, you can't be playing him, bro. He's lost a step. He's too slow. He's not that crafty anymore. His disposal's gone downhill, right? And he's getting exposed. That's the problem. So either you throw him forward, so he kicks a couple fucking snags, right? But he's not going to put pressure on, you know that. So you got to put him in a position in the forward line, front and centre, so he can kick goals, or you get him out of the team. You bring Swadling in, right? Big fucking player, tall player, right? He's got a nice size about him, nice leg on him, gets disposals, finds the footy. He finds the footy, gets disposals, and bring him in there, put him on the half back line, open him up, put Josh on the wing, get Houston, pull him back a bit, and get him running around the back, getting handball receives, so he can start hitting targets, right? And start opening the ground up. Simple.
Yeah. I've just to pivot to Houston. It's the biggest, one of the biggest head scratches for me. It's like you've got this weapon and you're just not using him to his best strength. It's so frustrating. But yeah, just to touch back on Saidi, that's all we want to see, because I reference this a lot. 2010, once Lockyer was dropped and we brought a player in, whoever that player was, I can't recall. But after that happened and we're still winning games and whoever came in started impacting, everyone forgets about Lockyer. I know it's a tragedy, but everyone forgets about him because it's just, okay, this is the next wave. This is the next player. He's obviously doing what the coach wants him to do. This is the future, There comes a time in any veteran's career where they get overtaken. And yeah, maybe a Swadling's not past him yet, but he has to be given the opportunity to show if he is or he isn't. That's just the reality. There's no point holding an extra guy for that extra 10, 20 games for nothing. You're on a hiding to nothing. And he's still going to be there in the twos ready to go. So, he's not lost forever. Like, it's just, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. It's been probably 2 weeks overdue. So I can't see it happening, but my God, that's the one change I want to see, if any.
Exactly. Also, you know what's been happening with Houston? I've noticed is he takes out the kickouts. He takes the kickouts from the fucking goal square, and then he kicks the ball to a player. And instead of running past and receive the plan, this is what the plan should be. Right, Houston, you take out the kick out and you kick it short 15 meters, right, to the pocket. Then what you do is, as soon as you kick the ball, you start running to receive the handball of the player you just kicked it to. So as soon as you kick it to him, you run behind him and he knows automatically and he gives you the handball receive. And all of a sudden, you got all the other players up the ground. They need to scramble for him. They got to start scrambling and make him space for him. And then he gets the handball receive, and that's when he starts hitting targets. All he's doing now is kicking the ball out, sitting back there, and doing fuck all. That's the problem. He's not doing enough. They've got to release him more. They've got to get the ball into his hands constantly and tell him, make a mistake, it's all right. Just keep going for those kicks, like Carlton last week. They kept missing kicks. But what happened was they kept doing it and they kept doing it. And then all of a sudden, right, it made Geelong defend differently because they started defending differently. Then they started punching through them. And then bang, they got the job done. See?
I love this
Peter.
from Rick.
Jump on, Pete. Just put the link in the chat.
Just want to reference Rick Inc. Houston said in an interview, Fly wanted him to be a versatile and play different roles. Why?
All right.
You have an offensive weapon and you're not using it. Spot on. Why get him to the club if you're not going to use his strengths? This is the thing. You can get anyone to play the role he's playing now, and he'd probably be slightly more defensive-minded, Why get this guy in if you're not willing to use his... The whole reason you got him in, I would have thought, is because you've lost like a John Noble and you would have thought saw him as an upgrade, But instead, you've got him in and you're not using him to his strengths. Like you're wanting him to play like this lockdown role or something. Like, he's just not that player. Why did you get him for? Like,
Exactly.
you may as well just use him. Like, it blows my mind. And I know a few people have said, "Oh, he's been better this year." Nah, he's dropped right off again. I know I was speaking today. He had a great last quarter last week because the game opened up. So in the last quarter last week, he had 9 touches, 2 intercepts, 2 score involvements. Now, that's the Dan Houston you want to see. Why? Because the game was a more open game. It was a more attacking game. And he probably had license to take the game on a little bit more. So that's when he's at his best. He's not going to be at his best playing him the role we're playing him, where we're defensive first all the time. Jesus, like it's not rocket science. I'm sorry. I'm no fucking coach. I coached fucking my school team for a year, my old school team for a year, and yeah, coaching ain't fucking easy. But there's certain things where you're just like, that's a pretty obvious thing. That guy's the best kick in our team. I want him to have ball in hand free as much times as possible. Like, there's certain things that are just fucking obvious, and I don't care if you're playing under 12s or AFL football. There's certain things that are just fucking obvious, and getting Dan
Bro, he's
Houston
the
as
best kick.
freed up as
Yeah.
possible is a no-brainer.
Bro, we got the best kicker. We got the best kicker in the fucking AFL. He's the best kicker in AFL. The problem is we're not using it because when he was all Australian, he was down as the best user of the footy in the AFL, 2 times all Australian. The problem is we're not letting him kick the ball. His only strength is the kicker. He can't intercept mark. He can't fucking defend one-on-one. So that's his strength, being a kicker. So they've got to maximize anything they can do to get him fucking kicking the footy. Open the fucking ground up or do something. That they're the coaches, not us. All we know is that he's not doing enough. He should be doing damage from the first quarter. So he should be opening up the play in the first quarter when everything's tight and there's pressure on. That's when he comes to the fore, bro. He come to the fore last week because everything opened up, right, and the pressure was down because the game was nearly over. That's when he started finding easy targets. He needs to find those hard targets at the start of the game so he can open them right up.
There's a couple of things with Houston. We either need to start playing to his strengths or we need to trade him. Because I can tell you there's a couple of teams, including Melbourne, that would love a Houston. They know he's not a defender. He's an attacking halfback. And they would, if he stepped into the Melbourne side tomorrow, there'd be none of this needing to learn our systems and our running patterns for fucking 18 months. He'd be a gun in there straight away. So either Fly has to stop being so stubborn and not think that everyone has to play 7 different positions, play someone where they're good, or we trade him and get a first rounder for him. They're the 2 options because he's not sitting in the VFL. I'll just welcome on stage Daz and Pete. How are you guys? Daz, you first, mate.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, buddy.
Is everybody going well? Yep.
Doing well.
Love all the talk.
Good, buddy.
All this morning. Love all the talk. Making a lot of sense. Just
Nice one.
yeah. So I'll make one comment, which is and we'll probably see a bit more through the VFL team tomorrow. But for the love of God, if Sam Swadling isn't playing VFL tomorrow and his first emergency and watches Monday's game and doesn't get his kit on and play, I'll be ropeable. You're just not doing the guy any favours at all, not playing at all this weekend. Either show confidence and play him and pick him, or let him go back for another week in the VFL and play him this week in the VFL so that he may have another big game. He could play another big game where he might just select himself undoubtedly if he has another big game in the VFL. Don't sit on the fence, Fly, because we know what happened to Charlie West last week. He was the first emergency and he watched the game at Marvel Stadium. And where is he this week? Playing VFL again.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, stop pissing on these guys. It's got to stop. This fucking sitting on the fence and fucking not having the balls to pick some of these guys because you're saving the other guys from the absolute inevitable in regards to poor performances, constant poor performances.
Yeah.
Remove them, bring in the young guys, bring in some excitement, some hunger, and some X factor with some of these young guys. And I'm telling you, it will change the team's profile, because at the moment the profile is too boring, too predictable, and too basic. And we all know that that is the case. We saw it in the Sydney game. They played the younger team. They nearly got over the line. Take a risk, Fly. Play these guys, because generally they will perform. They will play well because they will want to keep their place in the team. But if you're going to keep fucking them around, they won't know what to do. They won't know whether they're coming or fucking going. So stop sitting on the fence. I'll be ropeable if Fly just uses Sam as another example to just put him on the on the emergency bench. Even if he is on the interchange bench, release him, put him out there on Monday, let him fly, and let us get excited by this young talent. Play him, or otherwise put him back to the VFL tomorrow, let him have a big game, and he will pick himself after the bye.
Yep, well said. Now, before I bring Peter on for a chat, he's actually on stage, I believe, but if you guys can do me a favor and hit the like button, and if you're not already subscribed, it'd be great if you could subscribe. That way you can get the notifications and you can see when we go live, because I'm pretty random at the moment. I'm not really scheduling much. Feel like doing a stream and I turn it on. Peter.
Good evening.
Evening, mate.
Look, I've jumped in the back end of this. I've missed a bit of the start. So, but it was interesting listening to Daz. But I think the one thing I'm starting to have some confidence in with Fly is that he goes with what he believes much further than what we all like. But then when he decides that that's not working, he changes tact and then he goes 100% with something new. Usually it's, for us, it's 15 minutes into the last quarter when we think he should have done it probably, a quarter or two before. But I think we're getting to the point where he might be looking at the team saying, all right, it's time to, go all in. And I'm just hoping that he's actually starting to see what we're seeing. He's just seen it, a quarter later than what we've all seen it. And he'll start playing some of the kids and pushing them forward. Now, I did say, I know Ben, well, I don't know if he's still online, but Ben's online. I did say Chris is done. I'm not saying Chris is done, but Chris is done in the role that we're playing in. He's done. In whatever we're trying to make of him, he's done. He either needs to start having a break and coming back fresh, or we need to find a new role. Just don't think he's contributing to the fact that, is he going to be in our next premiership side? And this is what we've got to start looking at. Are we playing in premiership this year? No. Are we playing in one next year? Probably not. Is Chris going to be in the one after that? I doubt it. So, I'm not saying people are done, and I'm not trying to have a crack at them, but at the end of the day, we all talk about, I heard, Tarkin Lockyer and Josh Fraser missing out, and Shane O'Brien was one of them back in 2010. But I remember when I was a kid back in 87, I think it was, 87, maybe 88, going down to Cardinia Park, and I remember watching the reserves walking past, and it was Gavin Krasiska, and it was Gavin Brown, and all those. They were our reserves players, and a couple of years later they were premiership players. And this is what I'm talking about. We're looking at these players too much with these rose-coloured glasses about what we know they were capable of, and they're just not anymore.
No.
When was the last time Chris hit a target? Seriously, I don't want to bag the bloke. He's a premiership player. He's kicked some ripping goals, to get us into that grand final against Melbourne and stuff. But when's the last time he hit a target? Seriously,
kick the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Or kick the goal. It's set shot 35. The guy can't kick anything at the moment. And I don't know. Okay. It's pretty blunt. I say he's done. Okay, and that's not a fair. But like the guy's got certain roles to do, and he's not fulfilling them. So, you know, like
Yeah, what?
I'd rather
agree.
play a kid over him that's going to be there in the future and get some games into him. And by the end of the year, we know, do we keep him or do we let him go? Like, it's just I'm just sick of hanging on. And look, I can tell you now, when it comes to society, look, this is fact, 100% fact. I work with Josh Weddle's dad. Josh Weddle was embarrassed for side bottom. That was his words to his dad. I was embarrassed for the guy. He couldn't keep up. I ran him off his legs. He goes, I actually felt sorry for the bloke. Like that's what a player is saying about our, you know, like the guy should have retired after 4-3-3 and given us another draft pick. That's my mid-season draft pick.
A lot of
And then
people
we
thought
could
that's
have,
what he was going to do. Yeah.
but I'm not, you know, he's an absolute champion, done more than any of us will. Like, you know, an observation is not a criticism. It's just, for fuck's sake, like the guy, and I know someone else who knows him well off the field, knows Tidy, and he still thinks he's got another year in him. And it's just, for fuck's sake, are we serious? Like, it's, yeah, I think these guys think so much confidence and positivity is being pumped into them. I think reality is fucking just non-existent anymore.
Hey, Peter, yeah, you're talking about Crispy. You know what they did? They put that in his contract. They put a trigger in his contract, right? And his trigger, you know what his trigger was to get another year? It was how many games he plays. So he's played enough games now to trigger a new contract, right? So that's why they haven't dropped him, bro, because they wanted him to trigger the fucking trigger to play as many games as possible. Now he's triggered it. I think it was 12 games in a row or 10 games in a row. He triggered that now, and he's got a contract extension for next year. So he's there guaranteed next year. So that's the problem with this club. They do too many stupid things. They should have said to him, we're not going to give you a trigger. What we're going to do is we're going to watch you on form, not on games played. So if you're performing at a high level, we're going to give you an extension. But what they did was they put a games played trigger in there. He played over a certain amount of games. He's triggered a new contract, right? And there you go. Crispy's there for another year, locked in.
Yeah. I'm not against Crispy being a part of the program, but I think we're just got to be smarter with how we use him. I think you've got to disregard the games record crap now. Like, that should never be a consideration, to be honest with you. But now that that's done and he's achieved it, whatever, it's probably time to say, okay, Crispy, every 5 or 6 weeks, you're going to have a break, mate. You're a running break the lines. You're a running break the lines sort of player. I'm sorry, mate. Great effort. I know you probably want to extend this to forever, but I'm sorry. The club comes first, and you're a run and gun sort of player. You're at your best when you're running on top of the ground. We're going to have to be smarter with how we use you. And if that means you rest him every 4 or 5 weeks, it is what it is, mate. Or if he's got a little niggle, you got to take a week off, mate. Like, just be smarter with how you use him. I still think he can give you something. I'll tell you now, if you rewatch that Bulldogs game, I saw it live. But live. I watched it live on TV. I didn't see it live. But rewatch that game and see how many targets he missed. It's diabolical how many targets he missed against Footscray.
Yeah. Look,
you know what happens
and it might be the guy just needs a break. Like, and it could be, but at the moment, we're playing the same old, and we're getting the same old. Yeah, and I know it's, you know, and I know people say it's too easy to say play the kids. It ain't about playing the kids. It's starting to play people in their positions and give them a go. And even with Chris, I think Chris might be a halfback flanker. I don't know. I don't think he's a winger. I don't think he's ever been a winger. I think we've always struggled to find a spot for him. And now he's not playing at his best, we're even probably struggling even more. But like, why not try Crisp off the halfback flank and put Josh Dacos back on his wing and things like that? Like, I just think we just need to start, like trying to look at our players, put them in their position where they play their best football. And if they can't perform there, then we start looking at who needs to stay, who needs to go.
Also, you know what I reckon's wrong with that team? I've got a feeling, I've been watching them, that because they're old, that the players say, I hear the players all the time, they say that it's hard to kick under fatigue. So I reckon because we've got older players out there, when they get fatigued, their disposal suffers because they're tired and they can't kick the ball properly under fatigue. So I reckon that's why he's got to inject more youth in the side, so they've got more energy and power in the leg, so they can hit targets properly and handballs. So I don't know what this coach is doing. If he thinks we're going to get the job done with all these older players in the fucking team, he's delusional. He might as well see the kids play and go down, but at least we see the kids play and give fucking effort and look towards the future. Then just keep going on and on and on with the same fucking bullshit. Tapping like Sodi, he does these taps under his legs and all these little moves and stuff. All that shit's gone now in this day and age. The pressure's too much. The football's too ruthless, right? You can't do that anymore. You got to hit targets and open the ground up. You can't do all this fancy stuff anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing too is we all forget, like, Fly came in on the back of Buckley, and I know people here will bag Buckley at times, but he instilled a mythology and a defense first culture that was structured into our team. And then all he did was go, you're all off the chains, run and attack. But they still had that defense first, that was built in their DNA, and that worked for him. And, and we could have stolen 22. We missed out. We got 23. We should have, we could have, but that was on the back of a defense first. Now everything's starting to fall apart. Fly's gone back to defense, like trying to lock down and all that. But he's got no out anymore. Like, he is the creator of this mess now. So he's not the savior who can say go off the leash and all that. He is now the creator of this mess. He is Buckley. So like he needs to change some things, because like no one gives Buckley any credit for 23. I do personally, but and I don't care what people say about Buckley, but he created a lockdown defense that all, like, when Fly came in, he didn't have to do anything about a defense. He just had to say, guys, hit, run, and attack. Now he hasn't got that. Now he's gone into lockdown. Like, we're trying to now, not outscore anyone. We're trying to stop them from scoring less than us, more than us. Like, that's our basically game plan. Just stop them scoring more than us. So he's turned into probably something worse than Buckley. At least Buckley had a bit of an idea about what he was doing. So it's interesting. But in saying that, I still say I don't think, as bad as things, and I'm not saying things are bad, I think we're one or two fast players away. I think Bo McCreary's drop-off has killed us. That has hurt us more. Between Hill and Bo McCreary, that's the difference in our team. Those two players, one hitting form and one coming back, and suddenly we look fast. It doesn't take a lot of players to make a slow team look quick. And we look slow. I don't think we've got the players at the moment, without Hill, McCreary not playing well and things like that. We don't have the players to play the game plan that I think Fly wanted. And that was that we go slow, 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 and then we just go bang. But we've got no one who can run. Like, we just don't seem to have those players. And I think we're trying to create a game plan where we just don't have that running gun sort of players. We've never replaced, like I was saying it before, Oleg, Noble, Will Hoskin Elliott, like some of these guys that used to just sprint off the halfback flank, we've just never replaced them. And Hill's gone missing. Like, there's 4 players there that are gone from our team that we theoretically have not replaced since 2023. And I think that's hurting us at the moment. That run and gun speed.
Let me just say one thing. Can I just butt in? I'll just change a little bit into our defence. I was just thinking about this the other day. Now, go back to 2023 and the absolute unbelievable performances from a young lad called Nathan Murphy in defence and his intercept marks. Now, I'm going to make a statement. At that time in 2023 and up until he got concussed, I think got 4 serious concussions in about 18 months. So, I mean, it's really unfortunate. The guy could play football. Courage, probably dumb courage in a lot of cases, but he was so important. Now, he at that time was nearly our best defender with Bruzzy, I thought, and Howie, our best defender. But for a young lad who was in his early 20s, he was instrumental, always delivered. So inexperienced, but delivered. And he looked a bit uncumbersome, but he performed really well. And in those big games at the G, quite often saw him just rip those forwards apart with his intercept marks. You compare him to a Houston, to a Darcy Moore in the last 18 months or so, 2 years almost. Nathan Murphy shits all over those two. As far as a footballer is concerned, shits all over those two. Darcy Moore should be embarrassed that he had a lad in his early 20s doing what he did in such a short period of time. And then Darcy at 30, 31 years of age is fucking hopeless. Poor as a captain, poor as a defender, absolutely, totally dumb. Brain fades constantly. He should stand up. And you go back and look at that young lad and what he did, and he absolutely probably stuffed his career up because he was putting himself into very, very dangerous situations. But that's the way the lad played. And then you look at Houston, who came over here with a massive, massive, massive glowing report coming from Port Adelaide, done stuff all, probably played about 3 or 4 decent games in the time that he's been here. Poor investment. Doesn't want to take it, shows no courage, 0. Doesn't want to take on the game. He's fucking timid. And Darcy, well, as a captain, mate, almost 31 years of age, and you want to still be captain, mate. Take a long, hard look at yourself. I said it last year, should never have continued as captain. Should have been a decision last year. This club is piss weak when they try to hide around these very, very relevant issues. Nick should have been captain. Bruzzy should have been vice captain. That should have been the call, the tough call that should have been made last year. But no, they let him continue. He did no pre-season this year, no practice games, and we're seeing the results midway through 2026. Piss week. Well, that's the decision you took. You took the easy way out instead of making the tough calls. So I'm here to say this. I hope they listen to this. I hope whoever listens from the Collingwood Football Club, that Nathan Murphy shits all over Darcy Moore as a footballer, even in that 3-year period where he was playing for us. As a defender, as an intercept marker, and as a person who just went out there committed and fucking tried his heart out every time. May have made his mistakes here and there, wasn't perfect, but he fucking gave everything to the jumper. Unlike about 10 that I named earlier this week. 10 guys who I named who have just simply been pitiful this year. And most of them are experienced footballers. So enough is enough. Stop blaming the kids. Bring them in, show some fucking guts, fly and play them. And stop fucking pissing them off every time we lose a game. It's their fault, because I'm getting sick of it. And I'll be watching very, very closely to see what the selection will be after post the bye, to see what happens after that game. Because if we see another continual shit performance from some of those guys, then I'll be fucking going even harder on Fly and the coaching staff, because it's got to fucking stop. We've got 11 games to go to try and sort something out for the season. Unfortunately, with Adelaide winning last night and fucking the Bulldogs winning, we're in an even worse position on the premiership ladder now.
Can I just say one thing though, Daz?
Let's just wait and see. I'm not saying we're going to fucking win the premiership, but we should be higher up on the ladder. But it's been the fucking selection integrity that's been fucking shit for most of this season so far. And Fly hasn't wanted to address it because he's fucking got his favourites.
Hey, Daz, that's where you got the fuck stick, right? The fuck stick walking up on All-Australian night and got a blazer. You know why he got a fucking blazer? Exactly what you said, because fucking Murphy released him. Murphy's doing all the gritty work, all the hard fucking spalls over the boundary line and all the intercept marks. And you got fucking Moore floating around the back there, unaccountable, doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. That's how he got his blazer, because fucking Murphy got it for him. So Darcy Moore goes up there, gets his blazer, gets all Australian. You got the bloke with the testicles, right, Murphy, that puts his fucking body on the fucking line, even grand final fucking day, put his head over the football. And you got this absolute fucking imbecile that puts on tracksuit pants at fucking training. The only fucking player out there with tracksuit pants fucking on. All the boys are wearing shorts. Puts a fucking headband on, ties his hair in a fucking ponytail, walks up the race fucking smiling, right? And he's fucking wearing the captaincy on his fucking back. Goes out there, plays like a fucking pussy, right? And then he goes to San Francisco now to get his fucking hamstrings worked on. Hey, buddy, you know what you should do? Hand the captaincy over, call it a year, right? Get yourself fit slowly at the club and be a fucking captain, right? Or give the captaincy over, then fuck off, go to San Francisco, work on your hamstrings, and if you can't get your hamstrings fucking fixed, walk back in the club and tell the fucking, the fucking, what's his name? The fucking, the person that brings the players in, the fucking, what's it called? The list manager, tell him that you're not capable of performing anymore because you're breaking down, you're fucking finished, and hang the boots up. Simple as that. Enough of the fucking fairy flossing every fucking week.
Yeah, Nathan Murphy made Darcy Moore a far better player than what he really was.
Fucking
I'm not
oath.
saying Darcy Moore didn't have a good year and didn't deserve the All-Australian, but the fact is he was made to look better with Nathan Murphy's role in defence at that period of time. What I'm having a go at, what I'm questioning, is what has happened since then. Darcy Moore's last 2 years, shit. And
I agree, Daz.
he hasn't performed in majority of that period of time, with the exception maybe against the Crows last year in that one match. He hasn't produced, and he's been captain. So in that 18 months to 2 years, and this year, I mean, Blind Freddie could have told you with no pre-season, no practice games, and then you rush him in and then you play him in the Pendles game that something bad was going to happen when he wasn't ready to come back in anyway. He only got a game against the West Coast Eagles because it was Pendles' game-breaking match, game-breaking record breaker. That's the only reason why Darcy got a game. He put his hand up and he said to Fly, and Fly fucking begged and said, oh, yeah, okay, we'll play it because you're captain, because you're Darcy Moore. And any other game, you fucking miss another week. And we know what the result was. He fucking embarrassed himself. And whether it be in ruck or whether he was going to go back in defence, he would have still done his fucking hamstring because he wasn't right. He wasn't ready. Embarrassing for him, embarrassing for Fly, embarrassing for Jared Wade, embarrassing for Collingwood. Fucking shit.
I agree, Daz. There's one issue I only take though is our defence isn't the problem this year. Our defence is midfield, probably halfback, flank, forward, and that's like whether Murphy plays, whether Moore plays. Our actual defence has stood up this year, and has actually stood up really well, and has stood up against an influx of players, whether Moore's been playing or not. All I'm saying is our defence isn't our problem, whether Moore plays or not, and Murphy's playing and hasn't played. Our problem is when we get the ball past our halfback flank, we got nothing. We got no run, no drive, and no forwards to kick to. And I think worrying about Murphy and Moore isn't going to fix our team. It's worrying about who we kick to in our forward line is what's going to fix our team. That's our problem at the moment.
Yeah, but it's all about.
I agree what you're saying. I agree what you're saying.
It's about selection integrity, mate. It really is. If you're going to fucking.
But our defense is standing up.
In Pendle's big fucking game, fucking make him wait another week. Say big fucking deal.
I agree.
You're not right.
I agree.
We're going to fucking embarrass our club or you. You wait another week. It's selection integrity, and Fly has none. But
our forward line is where we've got to start selecting the right people in the right spot.
I agree. It's other places too, but we've seen it. We've only been talking about Ned Long and Sidey for how many weeks now? I'm not picking on Darcy. I'm talking about the selection integrity from top to bottom, from the forward line to defence. And yes, the defence without Darcy have actually been fantastic in most cases this year. But at the end of the day, you still got to have selection integrity. It starts with the first player you pick to the number 23. And you got to make sure that you pick the best informed team and who deserves to get the jumper for AFL, not who has been great in the past. And you keep hoping and praying that their time will come, that their form changes. The Crispy situation is a load of crap. The guy should have been rested. If he wasn't dropped, he should have been given a rest, a few weeks back. Again, selection integrity. They've got their. They know they're going to get selected each and every week because Fly that's his form. Fly has never made a statement at the selection table over the last 12 months. It's always the young guys that get dropped. There's no big statement made by Fly. It's everybody in the team except the young boys, the young guys. Your kids get dropped, so it's their fault. And we'll keep the others in.
All right, boys. I'll let you go. You have a good night. All right, Matty. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Matty.
Monday afternoon. If they don't go out there and fucking grow testicles from the first bounce and get that fucking job done, Monday afternoon on this stream, I'm going to tear fucking shreds off them. I hope to God the fucking Collingwood media manager is listening, because if they don't get the job done, they don't have to get the job done, but if they don't go out there and play properly and give full-blown effort on such a day when Neil Danaher's watching down on them and they embarrass us, I'm going to fucking flip. Have a good night and we'll see what happens. All right, boys? Take it easy, huh?
Right,
fucking lift.
Thanks,
fucking lift.
Night, Manny.
Yeah.
I'll calm down now. Just that I think people don't understand. It's just been, going on for far too long. And maybe they do, maybe they don't listen to streams like this. Maybe if they were listening, they might have learned a bit, but maybe Fly's too stubborn and he's gone his own way for too long. And we may be seeing something changing suddenly, all of a sudden. But, crikey, we've only been telling him, as if we don't know a little bit about football at least. we go to games, we watch them. I've been to most games this year, and when they've been at the G or Marvel, and I watch them closely, and I don't like bagging legends or bagging the players that have got that premiership in 23. But, when things are not looking good and you correlate that with poor form over a period of time, you've just got to make some strong calls.
%.
Look,
And that's the one thing I do hope is with Fly
I'm
is
getting upset. I wish one of the assistants could just tell Fly what I just said, previously. I probably my monotone was a little bit mega, but still, we needed assistant coaches to challenge Fly with some of those decisions in this selection room. Challenge him, because otherwise, if they were challenging him, he wouldn't have been probably constantly coming up with the same shit week after week. You need blokes to challenge the senior coach.
100%. But we don't have a senior strong. Probably our best is probably Skippy. But I do think, like, hearing Fly's last press conference, I think Fly up until last week thought we had a premiership team, and for the first time, I think he sees what we see. It'll be interesting to see how we go forward. It's taken him longer to see it, and I think like, he's in the bubble. He's going to hold on a bit longer and hope for the best. So I think you got to give him that, I guess, leeway, as much as it frustrates us. But that's the first time he's said, all right, we're average. So if he's saying we're average, he's looking at the team saying we're average. Who in this team makes us average? That's the first thing he has to look at. And as much as people want to say he's soft and that, he's not. He's cutthroat. Once he realises that we're out of the race, he will cut who he thinks is not part of the future. I still give him that credit until he proves me wrong.
Yeah, I'll disagree with you there, Peter. We both don't know, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, and we don't.
That view, but I would say a way you can show if you're fair income or not is through your selections. That's the public thing you can do to show if you're ruthless behind the scenes and whatnot. And we just haven't seen it. So that's the one thing I would say on the evidence we're given. He's not ruthless. However, behind the closed doors and whatnot, obviously we can speculate, and that's a completely different story,
Don't get me wrong. I think he has complete trust in certain players that he believes is going to take him to the promised land. But what I'm saying now, though, that he's made that conscious decision that we are not good enough, he will start looking at the team in a different light. That's the bit I'm saying is, I think up until now, he said, all right, I think we're a premiership team, and I think these players on their, and this is the problem, he looks at them on their best day. They'll get us there. And now he realises, A, their best days haven't been shown for a while. We're not winning any games. And he's actually acknowledged publicly that we're not a very good team. It'd be interesting to see. This is where I think he might be ruthless, and he'll start saying, all right, you haven't shown it. You're not part of our future. And this is where I think he might be ruthless. I hope, I guess, a bit more than probably. Oh, no, I actually think it, but I'm hoping a bit. I think he's going to be ruthless now. I think he'll start to say, all right, we're not going to win it this year like I thought we were. And these guys are not part of the future. We need to test these ones out. And he'll start looking at, who we need. Well, not him, but our recruiting team. Who do we need to target? And what do we need? Not just who's the best available, who's the best halfback flanker from fucking Port Adelaide, who's the best available player that we need to make our team better, and that's what we've got to target. Full forward. Like everyone's saying Butters. Don't get me wrong, I love Butters, but we've got Nick Dacos. Nick Dacos can't hit a target. You know what? We've got no one to kick to. How about we get a full forward first? All right, first full forward, and then if we can get a full forward, someone who can take a mark, then go after Butters. But there's no point getting Butters and Dacos kicking who can't hit a target, and no one can take a mark in the forward line. That's what we currently got. And Butters does not kick goals. Butters does not kick goals, everyone. Go look it up. He does not kick goals. So he hits targets. And we do not know how to take marks in our forward line. So we need to find a full forward first before we go after Butters. And anyone who says take Butters first, you're a moron. You are an absolute moron, because it'll be Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, and Butters and fucking Houston kicking to whoever. Buller and McStay, who'll get outmarked and punched, and the ball comes straight back out.
Yeah, it's been a 20-year problem. As I joke with my mates, we haven't had a full forward since Severio Rocker. And you can laugh, but it's the reality. We haven't had a true full forward since Severio Rocker. We've had good half forwards in that time, but we haven't had a proper key full forward for fucking 20-plus years. Now, you're right. Getting Butters, it looks good. It'll look good out of the middle and that, but you're right. You're still going to have the same issues forward of the ball. So, look, it's just hard because, like I said, Walter is the one that we're linked to. Who knows the truth behind that? Who knows? But he's still a speculative player. He's still not the finished product. So, do we even know if he's going to be any good? It's just these opportunities that we had to get these key forwards, like your Jeremy Camerons, your Aaron Nordens, the fucking list goes on. You know, we just miss every single time. Until you fix that problem where you either develop one or you get a gun in, we're going to have the same issues forward of the ball. Jamie Elliott's been our best forward for fucking 10 years. He's more than likely finished now. So what are you going to do? You know, that's the one area of the ground that we just have to target now. Like, yeah, okay, you might have to bloody give up a lot to get someone in or whatever, but you know, if reports are true and we're interested in Amati, he's going to do nothing for us. He's just going to be another guy that's going to struggle to do anything. Like, until we can develop a full forward or get a decent one in, you can put all the best midfielders in there, we're going to have the same issues forward of the ball. It's just not working there. It hasn't worked for a long time. We rely on midfielders to run goals in. It's the same thing every sort of, you know, year. It seems the same glaring hole in the forward line. And I know a lot of people say, Nat, you've got to move away from that. You've got to have a bigger spread of goals. Yeah, that's fine. But you still need that one guy who you can count on. When you kick the ball down to him, he's just not going to get outmarked or outpositioned. Like, it's just not going to happen, you know. We've lacked that for a long time.
Well, in 2023, we won the premiership with a relatively small forward line, and really no real tools. So we got lucky, but so we didn't really have a key forward. But we had everyone sort of chipping in, and we looked dangerous because players were performing better, and there was no passengers. Everyone just pick up the slack, basically. So we had a pretty small forward line. Our midfield was better. We had players playing relatively well from week to week. Yes, we got lucky with a lot of close wins, but you do that when everyone's performing at a higher standard. That's what sometimes can happen. You get a little bit lucky. We'll take that. Rather take that than what happened to us against the West Coast Eagles in the previous grand final that we played in, where, you know, we looked bloody okay for almost all of the game and then had our hearts ripped out at the end. But still, I'll be grateful. I'm always grateful for 2023 and what Fly did, and the game plan. And the dare that we had, we played with dare. We played with more zip and excitement. What I'm saying is it's not been happening this year. Got
Okay,
a lot of
guys,
the same guys
I've been
in.
sitting here
As I said, there's
patiently.
like
I've been
10
sitting here patiently. Can I say something?
Go on.
Okay.
Yep.
So we keep talking about how right, we're just no good. Flyers just realised we're just no good, and we go back to 2023 and just how good we were in 2023. You know, we're the same as we were in 2023. Do you know what the difference is? I can't see we're that much different. I'll tell you the difference. In 2023, those 4 close games, we win. Fly is a genius to the media. We're box office and we're the close game kings. We lose those 4 games this year. Oh, that's it. We're done. So what Flyers,
Matt, there is a
Flyers
difference.
realise, hang on. Give me a bit. Just let me finish. So Flyers now realise he needs something else apart from close finishes because he can't do that anymore. We're not training it, so we're not that very good at finishing close games. But that's how close it is between being this oh, what an exciting team. They play one good quarter of football, quarter and a half of good football, and look, oh, they've won another close game. That's what we 2022, 2023. We never pump sides. That's what we would do all the time. And but it's good. We should have been exposed then. Now we're getting exposed because Flyers going, and Peter, you might be right. Flyers thinking, yeah, we're not that good. Actually, we probably could be good. It's Fly that's not good. It's Fly that needs to change. He needs to change the selection. He needs to start playing more than one good quarter of football. He needs to stop waiting till 3/4 time and we're 3 goals down, or when we're 5 goals up, to park the bus and put the Presti sign up. Right? This is exposing him. It's not exposing the list. Voss went, and 5 minutes later, Josh Fraser comes in, and Carlton are playing the most exciting football in the league. It can turn that quickly. We're not getting rid of Fly, okay? I want Fly gone, but it's not going to happen. We're stuck with him for a couple of years. Fly needs to change. He needs to stop having favourites at selection. He needs to change the game style and be more attacking for more moments of the game. He said the other day he likes chasing the game. He loves that suspense. He finds it exciting to get 3 goals down at 3/4 time and chase that down. He said it in the press conference the other day. He said he loves it. The other thing he also said is that, the guys asked me, why can't we play like this all the time? And I said, yeah, why can't we play like this all the time? As if to say that he's saying to the team, yeah, you can play like this all the time. Then he goes back and he says, oh, well, we can't really because sometimes we don't want to shoot out and we've got modes and we go defensive. Of course, they don't play like that all the time. But maybe they should just go out and go whack and try it for a half and see what happens. And that's what happens against Sydney. Guys, we went out and smashed the best team in the league in the first quarter, and we would have won by 3 or 4 goals in the end if Steen hadn't have gone down. We had 8 players under 20 games. There's nothing wrong with our list. Yeah, we could use a Butters, or if you're on the path that we need a Jed Walters or a King, we could use a bit of help in there for Nick Dacos and a bit of help in the forward line. But if we win 3 or those 4 games, we're third. We're a matter of half a goal away. But it's good that we've lost those games because this is starting to expose Fly. Should have exposed him in 23. Right. Over to you guys.
No, well said. I agree. But I think the biggest difference between 2023 and today is our leg speed. I think we just haven't replaced our leg speed that we've lost. And I'm not even we've lost Oleg, Noble and Houston. We replaced leg speed for a kicker, but Houston's not leg speed. The guy has one effort. I watch him very carefully. I try to work out why we go to Josh Dacos more, and I've worked it out. The guy, he has one effort. He sprints. He wants the ball. He expects to get hit first, and if he doesn't, he doesn't have second efforts. And if he does, he might have one half-assed second effort, and then his hands on hips, and he's walking through the center.
Often
Josh
doesn't have a
Dacos,
first effort.
yeah. Josh Dacos presents, and that's why we hit. Like I used to think we just the game plan was just go through Josh, but I don't think it is. I think just Josh just keeps presenting, and Houston doesn't. But if we take Josh out of the picture and we free up Houston and put Josh on his wing, I think we can still capitalize on a pick that we've already made. I don't think trying to offload him is the answer. Like we can try, but I don't think it's the answer. So we need to start capitalizing on what we got. So we can't play, to begin with, we can't play three defenders who don't defend in Josh, Houston, and Sidebottom. Like two got to go. So just play Houston on the halfback, go through him, find another half. Like even if it's Ryan, like play him. He's going to be accountable. He runs. He can get the ball. He can kick. So start playing him off the halfback and then push Josh Dacos on the wing and just let's start playing some players in their positions. Get rid of Sidey. I'm sorry, everyone. To Ben, I love Butters. Don't get me wrong. No one's a moron if they want Butters. But I'm just saying, do you want a full forward first or Butters first? That's my conversation. That's the bit I'm trying to... I just don't think it's worth getting another midfielder if they've got no one to kick to. Because at the moment, we don't know how to hit the target, and our forwards don't know how to play because we don't have a true full forward, and that's what's killing us.
So Butters, Butters doesn't hit targets. Is that what you were saying before? No.
I'm just saying that getting Butters another 5 forward 50 entries ain't our answer. That's my thing. He's not a goal kicking forward. He's not a goal kicking mid. I think Ben put it up there. He kicked 2 goals last year. So, but our goal we just need a target because everyone else, it's a concertina effect. We get a full forward who takes a full back. Then McStay takes the second full back. The forward pocket, and then whoever's playing West takes the third, everything concertina's down rather than McStay taking the fullback. So he's got no chance because he's not good enough. He didn't even come to us as a full forward. He came to us as Brisbane's 3rd and 4th best forward. But we stick him in the goal square and wonder why he can't fucking kick 100 goals. So we get a full forward, and guess what? McStay goes back to the reason why we got him being a Brisbane forward pocket. So then he starts playing his role well. And then suddenly, West isn't the 2nd best forward. He's the 3rd. And he starts playing a guy that's either not quite tall enough or hasn't quite got the engine to keep up with him. And everything Constantina's down. It's just, you just need that one key that brings the ball to ground, is unbeatable, takes a mark, still kicks 2 goals every week. And then, everyone else around them starts to play better because everyone's worried about that guy in the goal square. But at the moment, the guy that everyone's worried about for us is McStay, who, guess what, was played behind about 3 other guys at Brisbane, and he's our full forward. And we're saying, why can't this guy, smash teams? You know why? Because he didn't even come to us as a full forward. He came, he's another Jesse White. He's another Q-Lin. He's a bunch of players that we take of teams that didn't need them, and we stick them in the goal square, and then we wonder why they're not fucking great.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we got them. They weren't full forwards to begin with. How about we go out there and get a fucking full forward, a real one. For once in our fucking lives, let's go and get a full forward and stick him in the goal square and just see what happens around them.
Yeah.
Just see what happens when McStay is playing next to a real full forward. When McStay is playing, and you know what? The fullback's not playing at McStay. Some guy who's not good enough for fullbacks playing at McStay.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's where your team starts to become good. But at the moment, our forward line has McStay with the team's best fullback player. And I can tell you every day of the week, McStay ain't beating a fullback of any team. He ain't good enough.
He's got to be sort of floating around up the ground and running around like more of a centre half forward.
But it's not even about that. He's not a fucking full forward. We didn't get him as a full forward.
Well, you know what? Last year We had we had McStay, Membry, and Checkers, and they're all third stringers.
But what he is though, he's a 200 centimeter forward pocket who's difficult to man up when you've got a full forward. The problem is,
I'm saying that Peter said we don't have first stringers. We hardly ever have a second stringer. We just have lots of third stringers.
And our problem is our third string is unnullable. Yeah, and defenders can stop them all the time. They're too smart.
So who's the full forward we're going to get?
Well, I started with King. I'm down to Jed Walters, but I'll take fucking Mitchell Lewis I'll just take anyone. Like seriously, I'll take someone who can just hold up that square.
Yeah.
And just free up McStay. Like seriously, free up McStay. Like McStay is a good player. It's just not a full forward. This is our issue with players is we bring them in. Who were when he came, they had Danaher and who was the other one? Like they had two key forward. Like he was the third, and we stick him in the goal square. Like there's it's frustrating. It's hard. Sorry.
Have you watched Buller live?
I love Buller. But he might be another one. He might be. I don't think he's a full forward though. I think he's a second. I don't know if he's going to be good enough to be a full forward.
I've seen him play VFL and I've seen him play AFL. And the VFL game, he was very, very good against Essendon, and they're not the best reserve team. But what I liked about him, I think he was more of a centre half forward. But what I liked about him is he presents. He leads hard, hits the ball, brings the ball down, and also is very good when the ball hits the ground. And against Geelong, so I saw him in the VFL against Essendon, and then a couple of weeks later, I went to the AFL, like the seniors. We got smashed by Geelong, but he was one of our better players. I mean, Long was getting in his way playing forward. That was ridiculous, but especially in the first half, he really presented. Had a bit of a brain fade where he took Mark on 50 and tried to kick it and went out of bounds. But I think he's going to be a mainstay in the forward line. He said he maybe not going to be the number one, but he could easily be a good number two.
Mate, I agree, mate.
We need Jack Gunston, clearly, but let's look at him. He's only 23. He's got years ahead of him. But again, I'll get back to my original point I said earlier, guys. Play him in the AFL. Give him continuity up in our forward line. He kicked 3 and he's kicked 3 over the last 2 weeks in the VFL. When Membry went back in the VFL a couple of weeks ago, he kicked 1 point. Now, Membry, okay, good last week, hit the scoreboard. But are you going to get that from Membry this week? And after that, and again after that, and again after that? He's not the future. He's not the future. We don't know what the future is with Jack Buller or Charlie West, and Jay Pod. We don't know what the future is. I'd like to see us just give Buller, I've said this a few weeks ago, don't just bring him in for 1 week and turf him out straight after that. They need continuity. They need a period of games, whether it's 4 weeks or so, time to do it in that forward line. And you're right, the forward line's been an issue for a long time now. It's been an issue for quite a while. And the makeup of the forward line's been hit and miss. And clearly with no Bobby there and Lockie Schultz, I'd like him to kick more goals. I will never question his passion and his commitment and his pressure acts, but he's lacking hitting the scoreboard, and he's not the most accurate kick anyway. And then, as I said, we saw that farcical situation over the last couple of weeks where they play Ned Long in the forward line. I mean, that doesn't hurt the opposition. That doesn't make the defence of the opposition accountable. they're looking at it and say, well, this guy's not going to hurt us. Stick him up in the forward line. So we go and we play to a negative game plan there and then because we've got a guy that can't hit the scoreboard. He's very rarely able to take a grab or even mark the ball. He's not going to hurt the opposition. So play a forward, play a actual forward that can play in that position. Don't try and find a spot for somebody who clearly shouldn't even be in the team just to keep him in the team for the sake of not letting him go back and learn his craft in the VFL for a few weeks and gain a bit of confidence and play him at least in the midfield where that's why we got him, to play him in the midfield, but he needs to do it in the VFL. Don't just hide him in the forward line and think, oh, I'll play him as a defensive forward, which is just, if we had a decent guy that would kick at least 1 or 2 goals in Ned's place against the Dogs, we'd probably come away with a win last week. Instead, we went with him. And then you got McStay, who's hot and cold, just does what he has to do when he can from time to time. And then you got the other guy, Membry, who's clearly finished, in my opinion, and you will get one good game out of every 8 or 9 from that guy. And it's generally at Marvel Stadium. So are we going to just piss around with this team with selections like that? Start having, go and get a guy like Jack Buller. I thought the reason why we got him was to start taking that area of our problems in the forward line and plant him there and see what he's got. But don't just drop him after 1 or 2 games. Keep him there. Keep him there. He needs continuity. I like you said, Manny. He pushes his way through. He's no beg your pardons. He pressures, he tackles, he can bend down and pick the ball up. He can take a grab. He can kick goals. He can do everything that McStay can't do anymore. He can't bend down. He can't leap and take a mark consistently anymore. I think it's probably because he's had ACLs and he just doesn't have the spring in his step anymore, and he doesn't have the confidence that he can do it constantly. And then Memory's just he's just game by game. You don't know what you're going to get from him. And now I fear that he might be one of these players at 32 years of age. He's just going to get injured. He's going to get the hamstrings. He's going to get the soft tissue injuries, which is generally the case when you get to that age. So, that's what I'm saying. As for who do we get? Walter, he would be my tip at the moment. If we can get him, if we can land him, but he's a work in progress. There's that term again, work in progress. Don't expect too much from him if we do get him, because he's still quite young. Got a long way to go. But if it means he can work with Buller and Charlie West and some of those other younger guys, it might be the way to go, because we're not going to win a premiership next year anyway. So give him opportunities, but we need to address the issues.
Yeah, I agree, it does. But I with the forwards though, they plot and they crack. And I think with Jed, he's not far off. And I think, I see a few comments around McStay. McStay is a very, very good player. He's just not a first forward, he's another example of a player that we brought in, stuck him in a position that we did not recruit him for, and he was never even there was no chance of him being well in that position. And we put him there in the goal square, and then gone, nah, that's your position now at Collingwood. That's the way we want to play you, and crucified him. But the guy came to us as one of the best third, floating forwards, can float into the ruck, up on the wing, and he's just dangerous. How do you man up on a bloke that can just move up and down, kick goals, dead-eye dick, take a mark, 100 centimeters, 200 centimeters, and who do you have playing him? But what do? Put him in the goal square, and everyone opposition says, "Oh, we'll just put our full back on him. That's how we'll stop him. We'll put our full back on him." And he's not good enough to beat a full back. He's good enough to beat like a halfback flanker and a back pocket. That's what he's good enough to beat. And we pay the consequences as per usual. We recruit these guys who are, third best tallers in other teams and stick them in the goal square, and then wonder why they're not champions.
Well, Matt made the point earlier that Jamie Elliott's been our best forward. With all the injuries and all the problems that Jamie has had over the years, he still has been our most reliable forward in recent years. He had a sensational year last year, kicking basically 60 goals as a small forward. But he could take a grab, and he backed himself, and he kicked those clutch goals in some of those games. And he should have made All-Australian. He should have got All-Australian last year. That was unbelievable his year. Because if he doesn't have half as good a year as he did last year, we probably don't even finish top 4. He won us a lot of those games last year off his own boot and maybe that wallpapered over some of the other forwards in the team. His exceptional year last year, his exceptional season last year, total consistency. You probably only had about 3 games, maybe 4 games, where he probably tapered off a little bit towards the second half of the year, but he got it back in finals. Maybe Jamie's exceptional year tapered over Membry and Myercheck and McStay in the forward line, and it made them look better than what they really were, and it made the forward line look better as a complete forward line than what it really was. In actual fact, it was really Jamie that was performing consistently well for most of last year, and maybe the others
minus Bobby Hill
still weren't performing that well. But it glossed over.
Minus Bobby Hill.
It glossed over the forward line issues that we still would have had. If he only kicks 25, 30 goals, we would have been talking a lot more about it last year still. So Jamie's 55, 60 goals last year was brilliant and exceptional, deserved All-Australian. But I ask you, where was Myercheck? Where was McStay? Where was Membry last year? We talked about the 3 M's last year. I couldn't really name you more than maybe a handful of games where those 3 were playing in the same team where it really looked good. But thank goodness Jamie stepped up and kicked those goals. I mean, I think it was 6 games, might have even been a bit more than that, but at least 6 that Jamie was kicking 4s and 5s, and I think he might have kicked 6 once in some of those games last year. And that wallpapers over the rest of the forwards if they're not performing. And Jamie's, early part of this year before his injury, struggling. Then he got injured. And now we're seeing the real effects of that because the others still aren't up to it. And they're a year older. And, we're questioning not only their form, but we're questioning their ability, whether they're got AFL football in them still. And we've still got 11 games to go. So, like I said, I'll go back to the selection integrity as well. Time to make a call on that. Pick your best team, but pick the forwards that are going to be, because next year Fly's going to have to rely, whether he likes it or not, he's going to have to rely on a younger team. He's going to have to pick the younger guys, and they're going to have to perform in the AFL. And we're probably going to be really, really critical of them. And I think that'll be unfair. It's not going to be their fault because they have less than 10 games of AFL experience when we start next season. Some of them will have less than 5. Some of them will have less than 2 or 3. What do we expect of those guys when they start playing AFL next year? You know, I don't want to hear people criticise those kids next year when they're, you know, only played a few games. You know, they will need time to develop at a higher level. This is where we need to start putting them in the team now, because I think it'll benefit them, benefit us, and it'll improve our growth, and then we can start finding out where the best positions are for them and the right balance for them with any of the other experienced and veterans that want to stay on in 2027. So you've got to find that balance, but you've got to make the hard calls as well. This is the time to start making those hard calls, because we aren't a premiership team this year. People are delusional, still thinking that we are. Had we won some of those closer games, beat Sydney, beat Freo, beat the Dogs, we'd probably get another 12 points there. 12 points puts us 5th on the ladder. 5th on the ladder as it stands at the moment. So we're looking a lot better. But that's the reality is that didn't happen. And we are where we are. And we're sitting, and we're probably going to be, depending on what happens on Monday, we're probably going to be sitting somewhere around about 12th. We lose, we're probably going to be 12th or 13th on the ladder. If we win, we hang on, and we're probably going to be still sitting around about 9th or 10th with the results that happened so far this weekend with the Dogs winning and also the Crows winning. So we're just still going to have to be fractionally behind them. But again, it all depends on whether we can win. Then we've got to buy. Then we got some what you would call winnable games, Richmond, Port Adelaide. But I wouldn't even put them in the book yet. You know, you wouldn't put them in the book as certain wins. I'd like to see the kids played in those games after the bye. Bit of freshness in the team, bit of excitement. Take the game on more. Pick the best team. Anyone that's not performing, either manage them or put them back to the VFL and start looking forward to next year, because we aren't going to play in a grand final this year. But what we can do is develop the kids, get them ready for next year, playing with some of the veterans or experienced players, and start finalising the list. We can start finalising the list now, and then we can focus on whether it be a Jed Walter or another midfielder. We've got to start looking at that right now. You know, what is going to be the best players that would be available to get to improve our list next year, to make sure that we don't fall off the cliff. Everyone seems to think we're going to fall off the cliff. Well, we've got an opportunity to not do that. So it's all plans and strategies to improve the list, but also don't forget about the young guys. They need development, and they need to be given opportunities and confidence at this time of the year. So next year they'll be better for it.
Okay, well said, Daz. All right, guys. That's about all I've got in the tank. So thank you, Daz and Pete and Age and Chris and Manny who came up, and everyone in the chat. I'm not sure when I'm going to do another stream, but possibly maybe tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. But any last thoughts there, Peter?
No, nothing. I had a couple, but I'm not going to drag them. So it's all good.
All right, mate. Let's bring them up on the next one.
Yeah.
So that's it. Great stream, guys. Really appreciate everyone's help on the panel, and especially in the chat as well. It's always fun. And let's do it again soon. Thanks, guys. Go Pies.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Manny.
Thanks, Daz.
Go Pies. See you later, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks,
for being
Boyd.
here, guys. Thanks for your contribution. See you guys.